Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sports Breakdown once again and Cricket Talks with Madhur. Since I'm taking over his channel as well for 2 weeks since he's unavailable due to exams. So today we have a lot of things to discuss about. Obviously, we have to talk about the group table first of all, the group table new format IPL 2022, which has been released today, and we have a lot to discuss about, especially on the venues of the IPL 2022, the starting date of IPL 2022, and many more. So we've got alongside Yatat from Crick Coverage. Thank you so much for coming, Yatat, first guest on the board. Yeah, and Tanish as well, and Aryan from the Directed. So thank you so much for joining as well. Varun SRH fan from USA, who's joined as well, and he also has his own Instagram account. At Score. We have Prasanna who has his own YouTube channel and he's from USA as well, the CSK fan, and we have Yash, MI fan. I think he's the lone MI fan, so that's good to see Yash also there. Good to see
Pawan, I
him.
mean, we have covered each fan base. We have gotten an RCB fan, Hyderabad fan, Punjab fan, Chennai fan, and a Mumbai Indians fan.
We got a
So
RCB
let's
fan?
call
We don't have RCB fan, I think.
Tanesh
Varun,
does
Varun.
support RCB as well. So
Hey,
yes,
No,
he will
no,
cover.
no, no, not me.
Okay. Anyways, jokes aside, let's start with the groups. Obviously, so we know Group A is going to be Mumbai Indians. Obviously, they've got the highest seed because they have won the most number of times of IPL titles. So that's how they've ranked accordingly. We have KKR, Rajasthan Royals, Delhi Capitals, and Lucknow Super Giants. In Group B, we have the defending champions Chennai Super Kings, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Royal Challengers Bangalore, Punjab Kings, and Gujarat Titans. Let's start with Yatat. Your thoughts on both these tables and how interesting is this going to be?
It's very, very interesting. I mean, first time we are going to held an IPL which has, we have already had 10 teams, but this time it's a different format. It's a very unusual format. I mean, you don't get to play with each team twice, rather you get to play with some at least once or twice. So it's a very interesting format. I hope, it just grows from here. I mean, the stakes are super, super high. I mean, since the time the group stages has been evolved and, we all are just talking about it, just the excitement is super super unreal. So I just want this to start as soon as possible. But yes, I mean, I'm really happy, with the way they came out to, because when we all thought group stages, I felt that okay, they will have group matches in each. I never expected to have a bilateral clash as well with the other group. So it's a very nice idea and a very different idea what we see from the usual IPL, but it's going to be super super very much exciting.
Yeah. And coming to Yash as well, I mean, obviously, I forgot to tell one more thing as well. So these two groups will face obviously each other, I mean, each team twice. And also, they will be facing the adjacent teams. So, like Chennai Super Kings one, Mumbai Indians one. So between one and two. So they'll be facing each team as well twice. And the other
Pawan,
remaining teams
show the
in the group
adjacent sides.
one.
Show the adjacent sides so that people are clear on that. If you can just
Yeah, sure.
show
Give me a
the,
sec. Yeah. Yeah. But Yash, coming to your point, yeah, Yash, your thoughts as well. Yeah. I'll share it as well. Yeah.
See, I totally agree with Yatharth what he said. And then the other point is IPL is India ka tyohar, And when you talk about India ka tyohar, so it's always basically about the excitement and the more of type of the excitement that you carry around. And then you have the mega auction you had, and it was something very grand as well. And now it comes for the time for 26th March. Each and every cricket fan, especially the IPL fans or the Indian cricket fans, must be waiting for the this day. Starting with these things of the groups to been divided, it's quite happy to see how IPL has evolved from years from last decade. If you look at the IPL, we haven't thought of such of the beautiful type of group been made in 2022 past years, but yeah, very excited to watch how now BCCI goes with it, how IPL actually goes with it, how the two teams, the two groups actually clashes amongst each other and win for the title, and hoping for the most of the biggest rivalries to do the two teams coming up, Gujarat Titans and LSG. Let's see who gets who's which rivalry coming in. How can any team like Mumbai Indians versus Chennai Super King be dominated by any other teams as well?
Yeah, very interesting idea over there from Yash as well. But coming to Varun, I mean SRH, I mean facing CSK, RCB, Punjab Kings, Gujarat Titans. Are you confident right now? And you have to face KKR as well twice also. Since this is a suggestion as well, since KKR has won twice, they are third and SRH has won once and they put themselves as fourth. I don't know why Deccan Chargers, their title wasn't added to Sunrisers Hyderabad, though they could have been third as well. But yeah, your thoughts overall?
First, we're looking at Group B, the group we're in. It's not a well poised group. Other than CSK, that's a good team. That's a brilliant team, I can say. SRH, my bias feel it's a good team, but RCB, PBKS, Gujarat Titans, I mean, they're not well poised teams. They just messed up at the second day of the auction. I think
Yeah, yeah.
Punjab Kings, while doing good in the first day, they just messed up on the second day. They don't have like a great middle order. If you have Livingston, he played 10 games in India. He doesn't even have minimum of 100 runs. He played
Yeah,
in he played in PSL. He I think around 6 or 7 games he doesn't even have 60 runs in PSL. So he's not a good performer in Asian conditions. Going to Bairstow, he's gonna play in the middle order for Punjab Kings, and that's final because you already have Mayank, you have that one for opening, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
going to Bairstow, he has to bat in the middle order. He's gonna be your wicket keeper.
Why is the SRH fan analyzing Punjab Kings? What is happening? Why is SRH analyzing Punjab Kings?
It's called
Yeah,
analyzing the full Group B to see what SRH, what advantages SRH has in this group.
Continue.
yeah.
Continue.
That's
Let him
what I mean.
continue. Let
That's
him
what I mean.
continue. Let
That's
him
what I mean.
continue. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Continue.
so you want me to talk about PBKs or not? Just tell me that.
Yeah, go on. I was kidding, man. I was
Anything.
kidding. Go on.
Anything.
Yeah.
Just go on.
Yeah,
Just
go
go
on.
on.
Bairstow is weak against spin, and spinners come in middle order. So that's another problem. And Odion Smith, his bowling is not reliable. So Punjab Kings has these problems. Going to RCB, they're just a trash team. As always, they're always a trash team. Okay, they have to depend on Faf
Please.
Duplessis. They have to rely on Faf Duplessis completely this whole season. And I'm sure about that. I don't think Glenn Maxwell, he won't be available for the first one.
First three
Okay.
games.
Yeah, okay. First 3 games. Okay. When will that happen? I don't know, man. Maybe first 1 or 2 weeks, right? Okay. Next is Virat Kohli. I don't know how he'll perform. He's not the same Virat Kohli anymore. Going to the middle order, you have a very inexperienced young middle order. Dinesh Karthik, he performs every 1 out of 6 games, and they say we have got the greatest finisher. Oh ho ho ho! It's not a well poised team for me. RCB going to
Yeah.
Gujarat Titans. They only have good bowling. Their batting, they're not even half batsmen. They're not even 25%.
Kunal and Huda. Let's see what Kunal Pandya and Huda does in Gujarat Titans.
You think they're batsmen? Tell me, you think they're batsmen?
Sorry, that's Lucknow, right? If I'm a
Ah.
mistake. Sorry, I mixed up
They
Lucknow
have
and
Vijay
Gujarat.
Shankar. And some I don't even want to name them. I only know Vijay Shankar because he's my hero. Okay.
Yeah.
These teams, I don't know why we were placed in this. I felt this, selecting based on between the trophies, it wasn't fair. But, again, it's all BCC. I wish we can't do anything about it. I think it's an easy competition for CSK and
But your
SRH
thought,
right now.
yeah, your thoughts on facing KKR though? Will
So
that be
what, man?
easy?
Just 2 games. If we win, at least if we win 10, lose against KKR, it's no worries for us.
Okay, very confident SRH
Very
fan over there.
confident.
Yeah, okay, Yatat wants a point. Okay, Yatat, yeah, you can.
Yes, I mean, just want to add a point, but I completely disagree with what Varun just said about RCB. I mean, they are one of the well balanced side. If you ask, according to me, I mean, it's not a biased opinion, but if you look them on paper, I mean, if you look on names, that doesn't define player calibers. You have seen this thing with Chennai Super Kings. You have seen this thing with Mumbai Indians. They know a talent to groom new players. So, if you say they are going to be heavily defined on Fab Duplessis, I mean, you're completely mistaken. They have a quality names. Sherfrin Rutherford was, according to me, a pick in the IPL. I mean, no one actually bidded for him. Then they have got a lot of talented players. Anuj
Josh
Rawat,
Hazelwood.
I mean, Finn
Hazelwood.
Allen, Glenn Maxwell, Josh Hazelwood. Hasaranga is slightly overrated pick, but then, in Maharashtrian pitches, he's going to come really, really very handy. On paper, if you look the balance of RCB squad, I mean, if you fill that 11, this 11 comes out to be the best. You have got like guys like Harshal Patel, Palu Lamaru, and even Harshal Patel. I mean, this is a fantastic squad. How can you forget Shahbaz Ahmed from the last season? I mean, you just can't really underestimate this RCB squad.
True, I agree. Let's come to a CSK fan point of view. Prasanna, your thoughts? I mean, this could be a cakewalk for CSK. I mean, they avoid, unlike MI. I mean, CSK has got sort of an easy group, but they have to face MI as well twice. Although, but yeah, your thoughts still.
I mean, I would have liked to play every single team twice. That's the
Yeah.
that's the ideal sort of, say, league format. But
True.
even then, you still have to play what's in front of you. And I think previous games ahead to it they kind of go out of the way, because apart from like 3 or 4 players, this will probably be kind of a new team altogether. So for most teams, it's kind of a new team altogether. So I'm interested to see, although I am confident that we have put forward a very good score after disappointment after first day. Second day, we had some very good picks. So I mean, CSK Mumbai, I mean, I see at least one loss there. Apart from if it's the first game, because Mumbai always has the first game tax. I don't know whether that will continue. But saying that, we still have to play all teams, and I think all teams will probably be evenly balanced. And I'm looking forward to this. I mean, I don't know. I don't say this, but I always put country first and in front of others. But I just want this
I
PTM
mean,
series to
just
get
to add
over
on
with
what
and just
Prasanna
want the
Bhai
IPL
said,
to come. I mean,
yeah,
no
Okay.
disrespect to Sri
just to add on
Lanka.
what he said, Prasanna Bhai, but you know what, Mumbai Indians will be playing. It's not the first match, but the middle matches with Chennai Super Kings.
I
Because the
mean,
first
you
matches
don't
will
know. I
might
mean,
go
schedule
with
is not
the
out
group
yet, but still.
stages. It might happen, but probably what the chances is actually India, Mumbai Indians versus CSK has been the top rated the rivalry, you know, and then BCCI might look forward, especially to give a blast to the starting. They might
Yeah,
shift the
because
first game
see, generally
between
the previous
Mumbai
year
Indians and Chennai.
champions, they play the first game, and
Yeah,
when CSK is
right.
playing, obviously CSK Mumbai, it's probably
Mumbai have to
the
play.
easiest way to select your first game. So
Right.
I will be surprised if
Let's
it's
see
not
what happens,
CSK
but
Mumbai
it
the
will be
first
quite
game.
interesting to see how the group tables goes now. The two
Yeah.
group tables we have to look at
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
It's gonna
there
be
could
an
have been a
interesting
case
series.
for taking random lots, say, like you kind of shuffle around big
Right,
teams,
right, right,
but
right.
that would have been another question for another day. But I would have personally liked to play each and every team twice. That way, there is no luck of the draw. You play every
Right,
team
right.
twice,
I do
and
agree.
there is no luck. There is no luck. Simple. If you're in the top four, you deserve it. Else, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to Punjab Kings and let's go to Aryan. So I mean, overall, I mean, you might be also, I mean, confident with this group that you got with obviously CSK is a team that's going to obviously go through seeing their past record, but otherwise, RCB, you cannot underestimate them as well. But the other teams, I mean, SRH and sorry, Gujarat Titans, if I'm not mistaken, are in their group, and you have to face DC twice as well. So your thoughts as a Punjab Kings fan this time, and with the team also changed also, and
Uh,
getting some
yeah.
really good quality players. Yeah. So
See,
your thoughts.
only happy with the group we are in, but again, not counting any team out because anyone can beat anyone on their day. But I feel we can overwhelm Gujarat. We have an edge over RCB always. We can give a tough fight to SRH and CSK. Even if we win one game against CSK, that's like a huge bonus for them. Then if we go to we are playing twice Delhi. So again, I see one win from there is good enough. I see either one loss to DC, one loss to Chennai, and I think we can beat KKR and a depleted Mumbai Indian side because we have a very good batting lineup, but they don't have such a good bowling lineup this time. I'm talking about the bowling lineup because again, their spinners are not that good that they can turn the ball and trouble our batsmen. Our batsmen will be troubled with a good spin attack, and I don't see Mayak Markande troubling someone like a Liam Livingston that much because Liam Livingston likes those bowlers who flight it up in the air, and he's a very good player when it comes to hitting down the ground. So I think our first 11 looks good, but we don't have very strong backups. That's the weakness we are carrying with us in this season. So if our foreign players get injured, we are in trouble then, and I think Johnny Bairstow or a Rabada might not be available for some of the season. So this is the
Yeah.
gamble we have taken, but we have to live with it. And I
Mhm.
think I'm fairly
And you
confident,
guys
and
only have seven overseas players also, if I'm not mistaken,
Hmm.
because I think you have
I'm really
Benny
see. I am
Havel,
really
Nathan.
scared. I'm really scared because people are saying Punjab are going to qualify in the top four, which has never happened. No one is talking about Mumbai Indians this time. This is the weirdest IPL. Mark my words, this IPL is going to be fully weird. because you're having groups. Then you have one full table, and people are saying Punjab are favorites, which to my ears is, new news. Because and
Nice
I have
music.
said it on my channel. One last comment before I go. Until the last ball of the 14th league game of Punjab Kings is bowled in this IPL, I am not going to make any prediction on the Punjab Kings matches. No predictions, just watch it as it happens.
Many
Because
people are many people are making comments, or maybe they are making predictions that Punjab Kings will come in top four. So you should be happy as a PBKS fan, no?
Or
yeah,
else we
happy.
also might be jinxing it. You would never know, right?
Yeah, I mean, happy but tensed happy because we have been so consistent that we have finished number 6 last 4 years. I don't know why. Because we have, to be honest, we have blown hot, we have blown cold. And to be honest, if this team doesn't qualify, then I don't know what team will qualify, which players will make us qualify. So I think this is one of the strongest batting
We are
lineup
with you,
hands
Aaron.
down.
Aaron, we are
Yeah,
with
Who do
you.
you
thank
who do
you.
you think will be captain though? First of all, I mean,
Mayank
Mayank is
Agarwal.
the sources coming
Mayank
out.
Agarwal.
Yeah, he's done. He's a done deal. Official announcement expected in the next 2 days. Mayank Agarwal. So again, Karnataka combo. I hope they don't mess this up. Rahul and Kumble messed it up for us. Not playing Bishnoi, not playing the consistent 11. CSK and MI fans are here. I always call a CSK MI model, which every team should follow in the IPL to be successful. Trust your players, give them the backing, they'll perform. Simple formula which teams don't follow and they lag behind. Delhi has been following it. You see the result.
Yeah.
They are in the final. So as simple as that. Back your players, give them chances, give them the confidence. They'll deliver. There are 14 games. Each player is enough capable to win you 1 or 2 games, and you need only 8 to win. So that's simple. So if we back our players properly, I think we can do well this season. With that, guys, sorry I'm gonna go.
Yeah, no
Have
problem, no
another
Yeah,
problem.
man, take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Yeah. And coming back to Yash, Tom here says Mumbai Indians has the most advantage as compared to the other teams since they are playing at home. And we know in three grounds
Look,
actually that MI is going to play this season in the Wankhede Stadium, DY Patel Stadium, and the Bradbourne Stadium. But still, your thoughts whether it will
Right,
actually be
right.
a big
See,
advantage because yeah,
see, that's there's no point of advantage when you look at the team of Mumbai Indians. It's totally the new players,
yeah.
and when you look at the new players, and then there's no point of you being the advantageous of just a minute.
yeah. But Tanish, we can get your points as well on the table if you're there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. The
Okay.
main thing
Sure.
is
Sure.
what I was talking is that you have the mega auction, you have every new players inside, right? And when you look at them, so there's no point of you getting the advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
So I don't think there might be any of the, but yeah, if you look at the people around there, like, Rohit Sharma and Karen Pollard, Jasprit Bumrah, there might be some of the advantages, but that's the main point that there are already new players in the camp, so nothing to boost about it, right?
Yeah, another thing is, just because they have, Mumbai and Mumbai Indians means, they don't have the advantage. I think as Yash said, Rohit, Pollard, Bumrah might have the experience. All are new players. And again, all the teams, they will have the practice sessions, on the Mumbai pitches. So, I think no team has a disadvantage. No team has an advantage here. It's all well poised and, it's all the same here.
I mean, if
Very
you see,
true.
if you go on and say
Right,
Mumbai
right.
won because they have a home advantage, it's basically an excuse. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
all teams are going to be playing in most of those 3 or 4 venues. If you
Thank you,
can,
Prasanna Bhai. Thank you so much, Prasanna Bhai. As a CSK fan, I'm really very happy to see how you are defending us. Thank you so much.
but it's not a defensive case. It's a case for anyone. It's like saying,
It's
just
probably
because
it's
it's
probably
Mumbai's
gonna be
hometown,
Yeah,
the
you must be
CSK
keep it
fans
like
happy.
that.
initially
You
coming
made
out,
you made
and
you made him happy. Keep it like that. You made him happy.
I mean,
yeah,
see, but at the
you
end
made
of
me
the day,
happy. That's the main
yeah,
point.
because at the end of the day, all teams are going to be playing in those 3, 4 grounds. So
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2 games you might kind of say struggle to get to the pace with it, but once you're set with it, I think there is no ground advantage. Maybe fans might be a thing
Right,
because
right, right.
obviously you will have definitely more Mumbai fans coming in compared to any others. Um,
Yeah.
I think apart from maybe thing from like
Right,
Mumbai,
right.
CSK, RCB, these three that have huge fan bases. I'm not sure for other games if it might be filled up. I'm not sure what the capacity is, but we don't know that still.
Mumbai
I
CSK
think
will
40%.
have
Yeah,
a
I think
blockbuster.
40%.
Mumbai CSK. That's enough.
Yeah, but coming to Tanish, let's come to Tanish. So yeah, as a DC fan, this time obviously, I mean, Group A we have Mumbai Indians, KKR, Rajasthan, and Lucknow Super Giants, and then PBKS also will play twice. So your thoughts overall, being a DC fan?
See, absolutely. If we talk about Mumbai, or if we leave this year aside, Mumbai Indians' performance over the years has been really very very great since the starting. And if we have a look this season, like Varun said, that apart from Jasprit Bumrah, Kieron Pollard, and Rohit Sharma, they need to have some players who have to perform well. Like in the death bowling, like if we have a look at in the squad, they lack a bit in the bowling option. Like they have Jasprit Bumrah who bowls really well, but I think that maybe they will try someone to groom for the death bowling options. And apart from that, if we have a look at Kolkata Knight Riders, they are also great, and they will also perform well, but it totally depends on how a particular team performs. So this will be a very very crucial point to notice out in the whole IPL. And if we have a look at Rajasthan Royals, their Rajasthan Royals and Rajasthan Royals, their performance is up and is very good. And secondly, Lucknow, their performance will matter on the basis of their bowlers and their middle order, plus the opening partnership. Like it is being heard that KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock are set to open, or maybe someone else will open. But I think that it totally depends on the way they perform with the bat. Mostly their bowling option is their bowling lineup is sorted, but it totally depends on the basis of what how they perform with the bat.
True, true. Very good points over there. And we've got Paji sir over here. By the way, Paji sir, your thoughts on Rajasthan Royals this time? I mean, they won 14 years back. The first season back, they won the IPL, obviously, Paji sir, and now they are going to face Mumbai Indians, KKR, DC, and Lucknow Super Giants in Group A. Could be, I mean, Rajasthan have a great squad. I know that, but do you fear this time? I mean, Rajasthan Royals have to play also RCB twice, which could be interesting fixture because Rajasthan Royals do have advantage with RCB, but RCB are very unpredictable though. But yeah, your overall thoughts, being a Rajasthan Royals fan this time, seeing the table, does it give
Uh,
you joy or does it
as
give
I said, it
you?
was the group of death at the start, but the fact that we are playing RCB twice has made my day. So that's
Yeah.
the highlight of today, is that we will be playing the worst team in the IPL, RCB twice, other than Gujarat Titans.
Yeah,
RCB are the worst team, so I'm happy. But as I said, Prasanna, you should be happy. You are into the final. You know, they fixed it for CSK to get into the final, straight to the final. And, the Group A is going to be really interesting. I think with Mumbai, I think Lucknow is the best newcomer. Yeah,
mm,
Delhi is unpredictable, and then obviously ourselves, and that's a very very KKR. You don't know who's going to. They will take points of each other. So I think because we are playing RCB twice, I'm expecting Rajasthan Royals to easily qualify for the playoffs. When we're in the playoffs, we can beat anybody on any day.
I'm waiting for
yeah.
that.
Very true, very true. And coming to Shalv also, who's a Mumbai Indians fan. Unfortunate, I think Yash left. But your thoughts over here. And Krishna here says, please this year no CSK, no MI, five trophies. DC, SRH, KKR, Rajasthan Royals in playoff. But I mean, Group A is tough, and Mumbai Indians. As a MI
Yeah.
fan, do you think this could be a cake? I mean, a cakewalk. Or do you think MI will struggle seeing the squad this time? And seeing a weaker squad compared to last season, if you agree or not, I don't know, but still, your thoughts overall as a MI fan, and you have to face CSK twice as well, and the rest of Group B once. So your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with everybody saying that Mumbai might not be the favorites this time round, because I think they did plan a lot, but their auction planning might have gone wrong this time round. Because if you see, I don't think they expected Tim David to go for 8 crores. I think Tim David was a backup for him, for the person they were trying to buy, and they couldn't buy that person. And
Yeah,
Tim David went for a lot of money. So did Jofra Archer. I think Jofra Archer, they expected around 5-6 crores, because
Yeah.
everybody knew he wasn't going to contribute this time around. So if I look at, see, if all the teams are playing to their potential, even Mumbai, I don't think Mumbai fits into the top four. Even top six, maybe they don't fit this time on, because their team is pretty disbalanced. They don't have a finisher. I'll be very honest. Tim David okay. He's a designated finisher, but hasn't done. I mean, yeah, he hasn't played in the IPL. He just played one game. That was for RCB. So if anybody's playing for RCB and not doing well, I'll give them a clean slate. So Tim David, too much trust has been, too much reliances on him. Plus, I think they'll play Daniel Sams at 7, which is I think a bit too early because see, BBL he plays at 6, plays at 5, but BBL is not one of the top leagues anymore. Not the best players don't go there anymore. So I'm pretty concerned with respect to Mumbai's chances, but you never know. They might spring a surprise this time.
But
And
good
your
thing
thoughts?
is, Mumbai Indians have a good scout team. Like you pick Sanjay
Yeah.
Yadav, Tilak Verma, right? First of all, you did not
Yeah.
know who was Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah. You can never know. This scouting is good. You might never know how they'll come up, right? So
But
he has
Arjun,
some
they
good
got
talent, but
Arjun,
And
he
Jan
should use
Path
them,
yeah,
coming
they
right?
back
got
into
Arjun
the
Tendulkar. They got Arjun Tendulkar
I
for the
don't.
scouting.
I mean, we could talk about Arjun Tendulkar and the lollipop, anytime we want. But I totally agree. I totally agree with what Varun said. We don't know how their youngsters are going to be. Be it Sanjay Yadav, be it Tilak Verma. You never know. They've signed tons of youngsters. They might just put in one of them. You remember a few years ago they played Rasik Dar, who was then a 17-year-old in the very first game, though he was banned for age fraud. But they played him in the very first game. So you never know. But
Yeah.
the thing is, as Varun said, when we brought in Hardik or we brought in Bumrah, we didn't put them straight into the fire. Hardik gradually came into the team. He played a few games in the season. In the 2015 season, he played 5-6 games and then he was slotted in. Same with Jasprit Bumrah. He played a few games in the 2013 season and then he was slotted in. This time around, Tilak Verma will be batting at 3, and he'll be not a guaranteed starter, but most probably he'll be a starter for us. Also considering Tim David, and Tim
Johan
David is
versus,
also a
sorry
young.
to interrupt, Shal, will
Yeah, no
Brevis
worries.
play? Will
I
Brevis
don't
play?
think
Global
so.
Brevis.
I don't think so. Because see, Pollard is definitely going to play. Tim David is definitely going to play. Two overseas quicks are definitely going to play. So I don't think Brevis might get a chance. I mean, he might get a
He's a,
game or two
he's
here
a
and
he's a
there.
future investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you look at their post auction comments also, the one thing that stood out was they clearly mentioned that next year we'll have a great team. So I think they've
Hmm.
sort of considered this one to be a transition year,
True.
maybe.
Yes, Pawan, I said I just made that point again. I said the two teams have
Yeah.
made future decisions: Mumbai Indians
Yeah.
and Sunrisers,
Agree.
because they picked the young
Yeah.
Indian players for 3 year strategy. RR, we had this strategy for 10 years, picking these youngsters out, knowing that we were going to make them stars and lose them after the third year or fourth year. But again, I think Sunrisers have done the good business there. That's why they've kept Samad, they've kept Umran Malik, they've kept Abhishek Sharma. These are players that will be with Sunrisers for 4 to 8 years. And they left Mumbai had the 8 crore for Jofra next year. So I don't think Mumbai, I think that's the blessing of being in Group 1. Mumbai won't be competitive this year. If you want to knock them out, you knock them out this year. And as I said, now from from our perspective, that's why Group A looks a bit better than it looks on paper. Whereas Group B, obviously, Chennai and Punjab and Sunrisers will be competing for that, top two places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And coming
Group
back
2,
to your
there's
thoughts
going to
once
be
again.
excellent fights. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sure. No problem, Shal. Yeah, you can tell
Yeah,
the
yeah,
point.
I agree with Sir that yeah, Group B is much more competitive, might be much more competitive than Group 1. But also, I also had another point to add to Mumbai's that doesn't go in Mumbai's favor is they don't have another wicket keeper.
Oh.
They just have Ishan Kishan. I mean, there's I think there's Aryan Joyal, but he's not done much in the domestic circuit.
Oh, another
Though,
problem is I think Mumbai Indians and Sunrisers Hyderabad really waited until Ishan Kishan came in the auction list, and then we started to go for the bids.
True.
I think
True.
that's where we kind of messed up our auction plans as well. I mean, who would have ever thought he would have gone for? I thought he was gonna stay like at maybe 11 or 12, but 15 was a bit of a hefty price for him. I felt.
yeah, but I won't be too surprised if Mumbai Indians let him go next season and buy him back for a cheaper price. I won't be surprised if that happens.
It's gonna be a mini auction. He might go even more expensive then, because you won't find talented Indian youngsters who are.
We
Also
paid 17 crore for Chris Morris. Remember that
Yeah.
in the mini auction.
But coming back to Shal, Jofra Arch
So
and
this
Jasprit
also.
Bumrah, 2023 IPL. You guys said that you are planning for the future, obviously, and we can see that. But I mean, that duo, especially when Jofra Archer comes back, I mean, to IPL, do you feel like he'll make an immediate impact along with Bumrah and maybe be the lethal pace attack for Mumbai Indians in 2023?
See, Pavan, I think what is going on is Mr. Ambani will be making special arrangements for Jofra Archer to stay in the Antilia. They'll tell him that we are not keeping glass anywhere near you. We'll provide everything for you. We'll get you the best doctors in the world. They'll heal him. They'll get him back to his potential best, and then
Hmm.
maybe in 2023 it will be like Messi and Ronaldo on the same team.
Why,
See, the
man? Give
matches
him,
are going
give
to
him,
get
give him 10
matches
more
are.
crores. He'll play for you this season only.
Brother, it's not about money
Yeah.
this time around. It's not
But
for
the
money.
thing is, Shah, looking at
Also,
this, I mean,
I think the match. Yeah,
yeah. But talking about the Indian fast bowlers, I know Jasprit Bumrah is pure class,
yeah.
definitely one of the
Jaydev Unadkat and Basil
No,
Thampi.
do not cut.
yeah.
Jai Unarkat.
No,
Jai
no, no,
No,
no.
wait. There's only one Lord here. There's only one Lord
Yeah.
here.
Lord Thakur.
That's Mr. Thakur. But yeah, I'm
No,
pretty
no,
sure.
no,
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 do
no,
not
no,
cut.
no.
Unarkat is
There's
original.
no do not cut.
Thakur came only last season. Unarkat was there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
an
you have to
insult to
remember,
Thakur.
Lord Nadkat has earned more money than Jasprit Bumrah has. So remember that.
Yeah.
Very true.
Lord
But coming
Unadkat
back
could
to yeah.
conduct PSL thrice and still be left with lots of money. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but coming back to Yatat, I want to come back to Yatat and talk about DC because he is a die-hard DC fan. But I want to ask some questions because obviously now Australian players won't be available much. I mean, especially in the start of the IPL, we don't have David Warner, we don't have Mitchell, we
Yeah.
also don't have one player if I'm not mistaken as well. So three players are missing for DC right now, and especially David Warner and Mitchell out. I mean,
Andrick
for
Nokia is also missing some
Andrit
part.
Noike, yeah, sorry, Andrit Noike as well is the third player. So yeah, I mean those three out at the start of the IPL. Could this be a concern right now? I mean, we have Yash Dul, obviously. We may have. I mean, when it comes to those overseas options, because we have 7 overseas players by the way, and we are missing 3 at the start of the IPL. So could this be a concern, Yatat, right now?
No, I don't think so. If you look at the DC squad, I mean, it's totally very much balanced. Yes, bowling looks a bit of concern, but David Warner is available from game one. He's not the
No,
part
no, no, no.
of the T20.
Australia is
He's
not sending them from, even if they don't play the T20 or white ball series,
Yeah,
they're not going to be sending them until April 5th.
April 5th. Yeah,
they
David
have a
Warner misses
policy.
out.
They have a
but they still
policy
have
that
Tim
if the
Seifert.
international team
They
is
still
playing
have
somewhere,
Yeah,
yeah, carry
yeah,
on.
Yeah,
maybe.
if
So
you're
even
under
if David
international
Warner,
contract, you won't be sent out anywhere.
exactly. So even if David Warner, Mitchell Marsh, and even Nokia isn't available, I don't think it should affect that much. It's the perfect time you get to see, what auction have you done. Basically, we've got in, Tim Seifert, you've got in, and Rahman Powell, you've got in Mustafizur Rahman. There are a lot of quality names there. So you get an opportunity with your Indian players as well. To get and see what all do you have in your bucket, and you actually get to try and experiment early on in the season. I mean it could be a blessing in disguise, as you say. So Tim Seifert, if he opens on the Prithvi show, I mean he's going to be really very much successful. Yes, Tim Seifert doesn't sound a heavy name when it comes to IPL in the recent time, but considering
yeah.
the fact the IPL is going to be played in Mumbai, I think this man can prove everybody wrong. So I think that we might miss on the balance with Mitchell Marsh not being there, because he gives you a cushion to the bowlers as well. But having said that, you have gotten in Shardul Thakur. I mean, if we're not talking on his price, base, on what we have bought him, just consider him as a normal player. He gives you a quality balance in your side. He can bowl, he can bat, and also he can add that crunch moment which we always misses. So I think overall we have done a quite good job. If our player misses 2 or 3 match at max, then don't think it's going to make any problem at all, because you need to trust on your Indian ability as well. And considering Prithvi Shaw is going to play and open in Maharashtra, it's going to be
Yeah.
very much difficult. So
Mm.
yes, I really don't think it is a worry for DC.
Yeah. And
Pawan,
coming to
Pawan, I
Tani,
do have a question for Yadad, if you don't mind.
yeah, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, you can
Yadad,
go
but
ahead.
I just have one query with respect to Delhi's squad. I
Yeah.
don't think they have a finisher, probably apart from Rahman Powell. How are they going to deal with that?
If you look at our squad, you are going to open with Prithvi Shaw along with David Warner. I'm
Yeah,
talking about when all the players are available. At 3, you will
yeah,
have to play at Indian guy. Then at 4
KS
you will have
Bharat.
Mitchell Marsh. Then
No, I
at
think at
5th
4
you
you'll
will
have
have,
Pant, right?
yes,
Yeah,
you know,
four might
no,
be punt. Yeah.
yeah. You never know. I mean, if the management sees, in the recent time of
Yeah,
Rishabh
maybe.
Pant, he's
So
more
basically,
successful
the
at
3, 4,
five.
5
Yeah,
will be Bharat, Pant, and Mitchell Marsh, and they can interchange as in when the
exactly.
situation is.
So you have got three finishers. You want to be in particular. You have got a Roman Powell who shoot bullets from the pitches. Then you have got Akshar Patel who can bat. If considering the fact that end over, there are spinners in play, and you can't mess up with Shardul Thakur. He can tong the ball very much well. So I
No,
mean,
Akshar
with the
Patel, I'm not
options,
too confident about. Yeah, I remember he hit 3 6s, but that was of
yes.
Jadeja, and that too happened because Bravo wasn't fit enough to bowl. Otherwise,
Look,
that
look,
might
look.
never have happened.
So if you also have two players, Roman Powell and Shardul Thakur, I mean, it's more than enough. I mean,
But Shardul Thakur, I mean, Shardul Thakur as a proper finisher at number 7. I mean,
it's more about when you have to apply it on the field. I mean, if you want to tong the ball, Shardul Thakur is a very good hitter, and you're not going to win all the matches on the basis of a finisher, aren't you? So looking that in consideration, I mean, I personally don't think that sign has any of the concern. Even what I feel is Roman Powell, he can also do the job on his back alone, but you have got a lot more support than what we actually see on paper.
Very true. Shashank sir here says finishing could also be an issue. Aksha doesn't much well. We'll come to Paji sir. Yeah, Paji sir, your thoughts over this with the DC finishing? I mean, ability. I mean, we have a Roman Powell. Pant could perhaps finish games. We have Lord Thakur over there. Are you a bit concerned though? Looking at this DC squad, are you slightly concerned about the finishing ability for DC?
I am a bit concerned. Rob Powell, I watched him and he looks brilliant, but he can also be, he can do bad. So we will wait to see what happens. I say what's interesting about DC is they're becoming like Rajasthan Royals. They've got just Zakaria, they've got Fizz, they've got Khalil Ahmed. The bowlings,
They
the
got
bowling,
Mustafizur.
Mustafizur,
and
like the three left
and
time
and
pacers. Yeah.
and Fizz as well. So I think what will happen again without Warner. Will Bharat be able to do? I'm not sure. As I say, their team look a lot much stronger last year than this year, and obviously we've got Hetmeyer. So, that he was winning them games at the end. I used to criticize him quite a lot, but Hetmeyer will be a big loss to them. And I say I'm not sure. As I say, I look at this team. I just don't see the match winners. Somebody who can rely on winning the game. I think that's where the problem is. When the pressure is on in the big games, do you have enough players that have got that, in their locker? And I think that's where a team like CSK, edges Delhi, and even at Rajasthan, I think really at 6th and 7th position, that's what's going to be a problem in the very, very close games when wickets are taken up top. Can Delhi see this? And I don't see it. I just don't see them. I just don't see it. Yeah, that's all I can say.
So one thing is, even if Delhi doesn't have a good squad, somehow they always find to get the team performance. You can even make David Warner captain, Prithvi Shaw captain. Doesn't matter who's captain. They always have like a good team performance going into the tournament. And when you play the game,
But Varun, that was with a team that they built over 4 years. Yeah, they built the last team over 4 years. This is a team virtually from scratch. And they've lost Rabada and Noche again. They used to have pairs in that team that you could rely on, and they don't seem to have that. And Shardul Thakur, to be fair, that's a guy that can be whacked with the ball, and with the batting, he's a 50-50 batsman.
Yeah.
Robman Powell's a 50-50 player. You don't have that. So that's why it's very important for Rajasthan to play Vander Dussen at 5, because if we play that player at 5, we basically we've got somebody who can see us to the end, and I think that's what Delhi's problem is. They lack that genuine, number
But
3.
Sorry to interrupt. Shashank sir here says KS Bharat could play a big role if he does well at 5 or 6. And Krishna here says a finisher you have KS Bharat, Aksha Patel.
How is KS Bharat a finisher, guys? Come on.
Nah.
exactly.
One game.
Who knows about KS Bharat? You never know. You never
In
know.
one game, he had a
KS
full
Bharat
toss
is,
of
I think,
Avesh Khan.
28 now. I've been following him in the domestic circuit, and he's definitely not a finisher if you call him anything.
Nah. No, he's
not a
had
finisher.
one
Come
good
on,
game. He's had one good game as a finisher. That's why I'm saying that's where the experience has lacked. When the pressure is on, and you're in 5 or 6, and you need say 36 of 3 or 4 overs, Would you want KS Bharat coming in there? You'd want someone like hopefully Michelle Marsh to come in there. So how
Yeah.
they survive
How
without
have we
him?
suddenly landed on analyzing the Delhi squad? What's the topic going on? Because
Uh,
The
I
topic
mean,
is
we have,
भाई ये chat में पूछते हैं.
The
yeah,
topic
I
is
mean,
going on. Can KS Bharat is KS Bharat
finisher.
the best finisher for? Can he be the best finisher for Delhi Capitals?
Not the
simple
best
answer.
finisher. I
Why
mean,
are
the
we
backup
Definitely.
option for
why are
Roman
we
Powell.
wasting time? We are wasting time. He's not a finisher. He's
Yeah,
either
exactly.
a 1, 2, 3. Move to the next topic.
Yeah.
Sandy sir, though, I still have a question for you.
I
अभी
want one
actually कुछ
question.
apart from
Sorry
the
to
DC
interrupt.
thing.
I mean, we have to move to the next team, but I want Tanish to answer one question because on the Indian domestic players, I need to answer this. I need to ask this on behalf. I mean, we have Yashdul, Safraz Khan. I mean, Mandeep Singh, who did
Lalit
well in
Yadav.
the Ranji Trophy tournament previously. So, do you think they'll get chances when it comes to the middle stages? At least I know these players have. I mean, Yash Dul especially he's a talented player. I mean, he's just 19, but do you feel like they should give at least 2 or 3 matches first of all? And I mean, bowling wise, three left arm seamers, I am a bit concerned right now, being a DC fan.
See, DC guys tried to spoil Mumbai's chances and got stuck with Khalil. That is one. You
I
would have
was
seen
asking
that ball
Tanish.
guy's
I was
face.
asking Tanish. Yeah,
See,
Tanish, your thoughts.
on this, I would say that Yashdul, his performance in the Ranji Trophy was really very great, and plus he performed really well in the Under 19 World Cup. It was very crucial for the team as well. And if we talk about Sarfraz Khan and Lalit Yadav, their performance in the ongoing Ranji Trophy was also great. So it totally depends. Like, will the team management give chances to them or not? And if they get
Anish, Pawan, to answer your question, Mandeep Singh has to play. Uh,
Yeah.
because right now he's never been in this good of a form. I have been following Mandy for a lot of time. Right now he's in rich vein of form, so might as well make use of that. He's not a bad finisher at all. He's done it for Punjab, few times. He's done it for Bangalore against KKR. If I can give you a certain games, he did it for Bangalore versus KKR. He finished off well for Punjab versus DC in one match. So he can be used as a finisher, or he gives you an opening option. So Mandy is flexible in that regards. So either of a
But
Sarfaraz or Mandy.
Aryan,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but if I ask you, if see, he's definitely in a decent run of form, though he has just 150 in his past 10 innings. But if you have a look at his batting position, even from Punjab, he doesn't bat at number 5, 6, 7. He bats in the top 4. So even though he did something 5 years ago at number 6 or 7, he's not been doing it in the recent past. Right? And
And
he's
he's got
only
a history
finished
of
game.
failure. He's got a history of failure. That's what we have to remember.
See, even
And
MS
even
Dhoni
Ryan
finished
Parag
games
is
for
doing
us
well in
7
the
years ago.
domestic.
I don't know who's the number 5 for the Delhi Capitals team right now. Who's the number 5?
It may
See,
be
Even
what-
Ryan Parag is doing well in the domestic doesn't mean that he's going to transfer that to to the IPL.
Yeah, I mean, see, it might happen, but Mandeep Singh, he's been tried at number 5, 6, 7 in the previous few years. He's played a couple of innings. See, right? Everybody plays a few innings. Sunil Narayan has also played a few innings. That doesn't make him a great batsman, right?
Exactly.
See, some players are just suited for IPL, some players are suited for domestic, and some players are suited for international.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
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 it.
Rohit Sharma, Varun, just for names.
see Mandeep Singh stats at
Everyone knows
while
that his captain was Ricky Ponting last year. Everyone knows.
Tanish
Yeah,
has got the stats. Tanish has
I'm
got his
saying
stats.
that Mandeep Singh has great stats in the opening, but we have already sorted our opening partnership. It will be Prithvi Shaw and David Warner. But still, if David Warner, as Varun said, that
You have Tim
Warner
Seifert.
Warner won't be joining in. So let me tell you that Mandeep Singh has a great has scored 859 runs with a highest score of 77. While opening, and his average is 24.54, while his strike rate
That's
is
awful, man.
121.33. But I don't think
Both
so.
of them
The
are awful.
management would try him at the opening slot.
Tanish, I'm sorry to interrupt, but instead of trying to accommodate Mandeep as an opener, see, Tim Seifert is a better option.
Yeah.
I think I watched his last game. He scored 30 of 13 balls.
True.
See, that is exactly what you want from your opener. You don't want your opener to play 20 balls for 24 runs. That is what Mandeep
But
is.
if you're playing with Prithvi Shaw, that's not a bad thing because you don't want to lose 2 or 3
Yeah.
wickets in the power play. So
Yeah, but Sandy, sir, for that you have Mitchell Marsh and KS Bharat at 3, 4, 5, right?
yeah.
So in case
but
in case
Mitchell
both
Marsh
of them,
also
so in
won't be
case you have a
available.
power play of score, in case you have a power play score of 60 for 2, you have 3 great batsmen in next, which is Bharat, Pant, and Mitchell Marsh. So instead of doing that, why don't you just give a chance to Sarfaraz Khan? See, I know he's been given chances for Punjab and RCB. I know he's just played that 47 once, which was 4 or 5 years ago. But I still think he might be capable enough. And he's 25. He's not 31 like Mandeep is. So he still might be able to do justice to whatever chances he gets.
I just don't see a playing Sarfaraz Khan. I think he's had a couple of opportunities. He's failed all the time, and you just cannot. And that's what I'm saying. Where Delhi looks weak, you take the 6 of them. Would I swap those 6 batsmen for the 6 that we have at Rajasthan? No way, no way. And I think that's the big thing. They've lost. The big loss for them is Shikhar Dhawan, because Shikhar Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw was always setting up the thing for them. And then they had Stoinis, who although failed quite a bit, they had Stoinis in the bag, and that gave the rest of the team confidence. This time, I think
more than the batting, I think the bowling is the biggest concern, because we lost
the bowling. The massive concern as well. They've got no variation in their bowling, and that's what I'm trying to say. They're like Rajasthan Royals of the last few years. You have Karthik Tyagi, you have Sakaria, you have Fizz, you have Unadkat. There's the same type of bowling. Yeah, they're in the bad.
Moving away, I'm sorry to move away from the topic, but if you have a look at Rajasthan also, I don't think they too have a great finisher on their roster. I mean, I think James Neesham is the only finisher, and he's not been doing well. He's been awful in the past few months.
We have to have Van der Dussen. We have to have Van der Dussen at 5.
Who will be your 4 overseas players, by the way?
Isn't he a top order batsman
for Rajasthan? Who will be your 4 overseas?
But our 4 overseas, it will be Bolt. It'll be Bolt. It'll be Van der Dussen and Butler.
Yeah.
And
maybe Neesham or
Coultonal.
You guys have bought Hetmeyer for 9 crores. Sangakkara wants to.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He'll be coming up 5.
You're not playing. See, you're not playing Paji. You're not playing Van der Dussen by any chance. You'll play Butler up at the top. You'll play one middle order batsman in Hetmeyer. Then you'll play
Hetmeyer will be at 5. Hetmeyer will be at 5, and he was doing the finishing job for Delhi at the end.
You have to play either of a Coultonal or a Neesham.
But Aryan and Sandy, sir, what we can do is we can play 2 middle order bats, because if you see, as their Indian pacer, they still have Prasidh Krishna and Navdeep Saini. They can play both of them, so they don't need to play 2 overseas quicks. They can just play Trent Bolt as an overseas quick and Ashwin and Chahal.
Play Van der Dussen and
Van der Dussen can come in at 5 and Hetmeyer can come in at 6. So you have a finisher as well as a stable middle order batsman. So I think that's.
I don't know if Van der Dussen is that capable, because Van der Dussen is.
But the problem is Josh Butler will obviously open, so that is it will be either Van der Dussen or Hetmeyer playing, because I think you guys will need. Obviously, Bolt also will be confirmed, but you guys will need a Coultonal most probably.
But why Pawan? We have Navdeep Saini and Prasidh Krishna, right? So
if you have Navdeep Saini, Prasidh Krishna, and Bolt, that is our 12 overs done there. Yeah. So I think Navdeep Saini is going to be very, very key to our selection. And then we also have Sanju coming at 4. They've said Sanju will come at 4. And then we have David
Jaiswal and Padikal. So who's going to be that opening option? And do you think
Jaiswal and Butler will be the opening? Jaiswal and Butler will be opening.
You're not playing Padikal. I think Padikal will play.
No.
Padikal 3. And
but in that case, you're moving your captain and probably your second best batsman to 4.
Yeah.
No, well, that's where they want him to bat. They want him to bat, and anyway, it doesn't make a difference to us because we were losing 2 to 3 wickets in the power play anyway. So it doesn't matter if Sanju bats up 3 or 4.
Those are particle in the middle overs, especially starting off with the field open.
Why don't you play with Padikal and Jaiswal?
I mean, he was so no. I'm not moving
Josh Butler. Then what's the impact of Josh Butler then?
Yeah.
I mean, him.
I think what they'll do is I think what they'll do is they might not play either one of Padikal or Jaiswal, even though it should not happen. But they might just play one of them. Might.
But they want the right. They want the right left hand. They want the right hand and the left hand combination. So even if you say if Jaiswal comes in, Jaiswal and Butler open. If Jaiswal goes in, Padikal takes his place. If Butler goes, then Sanju comes in his place. So I think that's what they want. They want the rotation.
Again, we are debating here because he is one of the most confusing picks of the auction. I
Yeah,
don't know
true. I don't.
if
That's what I was
if
trying
you
to come
give
up
me the
also. It is
if
very
you give me the
confusing with
selection,
Rajasthan.
I would highly prefer Devdutt Padikkal to open because he's got all those strokes that can find gaps. I'm not
True.
saying Jaiswal
But
hasn't got
Aryan,
them,
I would beg to differ, but I'd rather pick a Jaiswal over Particle, if you ask me.
because Mumbai
I,
conditions obviously come into play. Yeah,
Precisely.
yeah.
yeah.
I think this will go to a big debate, and a lot of people asking. We're gonna talk about KKR since we don't have a KKR fan, but we'll come to Aryan since he took part in the KKR auction for the KKR, even though
And
he's
he's got
not a
a free
KKR fan.
No,
KR
no, but
jersey.
yeah.
But
See,
He's
I
got a
think
free
let's
jersey.
talk about KKR though, because a lot of people
all of
are
us are
asking
cricket
on the
fans,
chat.
and we might be able to contribute to the cause. So no worries with that.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah. I can
yeah,
start off and then Western
yeah,
take over. So
we'll talk on KKR though because a lot of people are asking on that. Yeah,
with this,
and talk
people who are
and new.
asking KKR, I see your first 11 being not that bad. To be honest,
Yeah.
first 11 is not that bad, but again, this team will struggle if any glimpses are there, and they have to play Pat Cummins, Sunil Narayan, Andre Russell, and Alex
Sam
Hales.
One
Who has
question
Billings.
on that,
dropped.
by
Sam
the way.
Billings.
No,
Sunil
no, no,
Narayan
no.
will
Alex
open.
is. I don't think
Sunil
Alex
Narayan to
Hales is
open
going
with
to play.
Venkatesh
See,
Iyer.
if you don't have Sam Billings, you don't have wicket keeper. If you want,
Precisely. So
if you
Sam
want it,
Billings is a guaranteed starter for you.
yeah. See,
I
if you
think
want
Rahane
Alex Hales, you
opens with
should play
Venkatesh
Sheldon
Iyer.
Jackson.
Yeah,
One
so
person
yeah,
at a
so
time, guys.
Rahane
One
opens.
person.
Rahane opens. Then it's Cummins, Russell, Narayan, and Billings. So yeah, these are the
Russell
four.
and Narayan are already confirmed now.
Yeah.
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 So I think what they've done is they've done a good buy in someone like a Umesh Yadav who can be
Yeah.
your power play bowler, and you don't have to really trust on him at the test because he can swing the new ball and maybe give you the wickets.
No, but I think
As
that is what they want Shivam Mavi to do. Umesh Yadav is sort of a backup for
I
them.
think Shivam Mavi is again, he's taken up the death bowling role in the recent IPLs and they're trusting him at the death for some
No,
reason.
come on, bro. Shivam Mavi is done with his over until the 10th over. He doesn't bowl at the 10th. If you remember his 3 for 12 spell, he was done with his over at over 10.
But
He
then,
didn't bowl after that.
but then the question arises: who's Russell is a confirmed death bowler.
Yeah.
That's what
And
Pat
Narayan,
Cummins, who
obvious.
else?
Those two
Pat
picks
Cummins
are
will do it.
we don't have to talk about those two picks because we know anyways Russell and Narayan will be playing. But the
this guy,
remaining two, yeah,
Abhijit Tomar is being talked about being a good batsman. They're seeing him right now in the camp. And one bowler, who is
Yeah.
that bowler? They're talking
Now
about
that
one
tennis ball batsman.
left arm
Ramesh
spinner,
Kumar,
right?
no,
Who's
not
that?
that guy.
Wait, go down the list. There's a bowler who's
Anukul Roy, right?
What?
no,
Ramesh
not
Kumar you're talking about?
yeah, Ramesh Kumar. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
being
Ramesh
Sir, yeah,
Kumar,
the tennis
Ramesh
ball
Kumar.
guy,
That's why
na?
this name-
Arey,
Tennis
that
ball
guy
guy.
was Narayan Jalalabad, something like that.
yeah, Ramesh
He was
Kumar.
winning with him.
So yeah, he's been talked about a lot
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
Pratham
see,
Singh.
maybe I think he's a pick for the future. They want Narayan to groom him.
But this
They just want his
KKR side
accent to
is
be sorted.
this KKR side is very ordinary from I mean not ordinary but a very different looking because we've seen with KKR how they bank experience, they've gone with experience. Except for Manvinder
Yeah.
Bisla, who was
No,
a
but I think they still
new
have decent depth. I
They
mean,
still
see,
have
yeah,
Rahane.
they
They
have,
still have
the
Rahane.
number of
Yeah.
young faces, the number of young faces this time I'm surprised to see only because they did shitty things with their purse. I'll say they did shitty things with their purse, so they had to go for these bargains and they had to settle for a Rahane. And they could have got someone better if they were not looking for Shreyas, but they had to look for Shreyas because this
They
is
need
where
a
he
captain.
captain.
yeah, he's a
But
captain.
Aryan,
But
but they still have decent depth, man. See, if Russell goes
yeah.
out, Karunaratne comes in, though he's not a like for like, but he's still a decent replacement.
Yeah, he's. I
I'm
mean,
just talking
again,
about the key
emphasizing.
players.
Yeah, good in that regards. Obviously, in the
Yeah.
key
Yeah,
regards,
but the thing that sort of annoys me if I was a KKR fan is Pat Cummins will not be there for 4 5 games. So Tim
no.
Saudi, I mean, no, that's where you get stuck.
No,
That's where you'll
Varun, yeah.
probably have to play. That's where you'll have to probably play Shivam Mavi and Umesh Yadav both because I would trust both of these more than Tim Saudi as a T20 bowler. I'm sorry, but
Who
Yeah.
have got who they've got in the group? Mumbai, Lucknow.
RR,
Varun, coming to your point,
MI.
yeah. I mean, Srh Iyer being the leader, will it? I mean, I know he's a new, he has led DC obviously before, but do you think it will take some time? This could be a transformation period for KKR this season. Perhaps they might contend next season, even though they have a chance of qualifying. I mean, it depends on the points table, obviously, in that top four, but do you feel this could be a transformation team? I mean, process for KKR right now, looking at this squad.
I mean, it's a new team, a new captain. I'm not really expecting much from Shreyas Iyer. I think, as also Paji said, Delhi Capitals had 4 years of experience, and also Shreyas Iyer captaining. So I think the captaincy really didn't matter. I think it was all just the team performance for me. I didn't really see captaincy, affecting it. So I think Kolkata Knight Riders will. They have a good team, but we should see we should see Shreyas Iyer's real side right now, like how he really does his captaincy. So it's gonna be interesting.
And I mean, Varun Chakrabarti, completely forgotten out of the Indian side of that dismal 2020 World Cup right now, and he's back. I mean, obviously Narayan and
He's an
Chakrabarti.
IPL player, not an international player. There you go.
No,
He's
Varun,
not
Exactly.
fit
Varun
for
and Pawan. I
international yet,
think
let's be
Pawan. I
honest.
think
I
the
mean, I
problem
think he
was
was literally thrown into the T20 team just
exactly,
like that.
exactly. I think he was picked just because of the 5 wicket haul he picked up, and he was fast tracked pretty soon into the side. If you see, I mean, gone are those days where a 16-year-old could bully Pakistani batsmen. The maturity level won't be there now. Varun Chakravarti was suddenly put in a high-profile India-Pakistan game. Even though the conditions were in his favor, I think nobody expected him to do really well. I mean, not as bad
Yeah,
as he did, but not really well. Also,
yeah.
I think we took a see if we talk about the World Cup squad, we picked a lot of players in haste. We picked up Rahul Chahar, Varun Chakravarti, and both of them I have no idea where they are. They must be lost. So no, not going there. But Varun Chakravarti, if he man, see another problem with Chakravarti is that he is not. I mean, his knee is very dodgy. He might not be able to play all 14 games. So in that case, do you bring in somebody like a Ramesh Kumar? So that is also a sort of not a concern, but a sort of area to think about.
Yeah. And Varun, I think Varun and Paji sir, you had a doubt on Padikal, right? For Rajasthan playing at number 3, had some stats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3, I think, has a strike rate of 100. And yeah,
Yeah,
anyways, we'll go to the
he
next.
played 2 innings. He scored 38 runs and at a strike rate of 100 at number
See,
3.
Varun. See, I am a big fan of numbers. You can ask any of my comrades. But see, I think 2 innings is a pretty small sample size.
Yeah,
Though I disagree with the fact that he should play at 3. Either he should open or he shouldn't play at all because
yeah.
then there are
Yeah,
lots of other batsmen who.
I'll tell you something. If you followed Rajasthan Royals for the 4 years, the
Mm,
last 4 years, we've already always been 2 wickets down. Yeah,
mm,
in the power play. So
mm.
as I said, it's the amount of overs. If that we have Butler and Yashashvi stay in for 10 overs, then I think Padikal will be dropped and Sanju will come in. So I think that is the strategy, and I think the left-right hand strategy is the key strategy.
Mm,
And again,
mm,
Particle is a guy for the future. I think even if Yashashvi was in the auction,
mm,
Yashashvi would have gone for at least 8 to 9 crore players because I think he did enough last year. I think Mumbai would have definitely been after him. So I think
mm.
that's the reason. It's a kind of a business decision by Rajasthan. Give Yashashvi one more year. And if his price rockets, they could possibly trade him or swap him for another player. So I think that
Yeah.
Padikkal is the future, but I think because you're playing one youngster with an experienced thing, there Rajasthan are expecting at least Yashashvi to bat 4 or 5 overs, get a quick 30 and get out, and then you got Padikkal to come in. So I think, as I said, I think that's it. I think Padikkal struggles against the spin bowling. If his pace, Padikkal is better.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we quickly jump into Punjab Kings, and Aryan has to leave. So we'll jump into Punjab Kings and then go to the next topic because we've been talking about squads a long time. So we'll talk about Lucknow Super Giants and Gujarat later in another video before the IPL starts. But yeah, coming to Punjab Kings though, I mean, the only doubt here, I mean, obviously it might be Mayank or Dhawan, or could be Baristo or Dhawan, or maybe Baristo will have to bat at number 4. So coming to
Oh
Aryan first of
no.
all. Your thoughts over here. Will
See,
Mayank bet at
if
3
you
as
are
captain if he becomes
ideally,
captain?
ideally, what should happen is if you're not opening with Johnny Bairstow, you're wasting him at number 3.
Precisely.
That's
Precisely.
my opinion. And if we saw when KL and Chris opened, Chris Gale, Mayank Agarwal didn't do that bad. He's someone who can even
Yeah.
do well. I'll be very disappointed if I see Mayank Agarwal coming to open. Although people are saying that he takes on the power play, but that's precisely why we have bought Johnny Bairstow to thrash the
Yeah.
power play and give us a very rocketing start. And we need someone like a Dhawan or a Mayank to stay in till the 20th over because we have everyone who can dash and we have no one who can like anchor in the middle. So that is one problem.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
we are
another question to ask also on
Aryan, quick
Punjab
question.
Kings. I mean,
Yeah.
Baristo is not going to be there for more, I think about maybe 4 or 5 matches, if I'm not mistaken, and the wicket keeping option could be an issue. So, do you think you'll bring in a Prabhu Sriram Singh or
We have
maybe even
to
Hitesh Sharma?
uh, we
What's
have to
going to be
bring
the option over there?
We have to
Bro, Prabh
bring
Simran has been excellent in the domestic scene. If you've looked at him
Yeah.
for the past, he's been
He's
excellent.
Prabh Simran
Yeah, he
hasn't
is.
got that many games, so he's a good batsman and he can be he's a dasher. To be honest,
Yeah.
you saw his Ranji 100. It's not a classical 100.
Yeah.
It's a dashing
Yeah.
100. So yeah, he's kind of similar to Johnny, who likes to hit every ball, but
To the line, yeah.
Johnny Bairstow is much clean hitter, so we've got the wicket keeping backup. But
Yeah.
then I think I don't know how much Bhanuka Rajapaksa will do well or no. because-
Aryan, is Liam Livingston a concern for you guys? 11 crores has been
It
awful
should
in the
be.
I don't,
13
I don't
crores,
think
no
so.
13.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Liam Livingston. See, price is he's bit overpriced. I won't deny that fact.
Yeah.
But whatever I have seen with Liam Livingston is that this guy, if he is able to just negate the spin aspect of the other teams, because I'm one concern with Liam is that good spinners can get him. That's my only
Yeah.
concern.
Exactly,
If he's able
Aryan.
to-
Varun, you
There's
had
a
a question, if I'm not mistaken, right? On Punjab.
What?
You had a
there's,
question, right? To Aryan.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Shalv asked about. Shalv did have a question or no? I think.
I said, I spoke about
the
Livingston
issue
and
with
you answered it.
Yeah,
the
that
issue
was
with Liam.
Hmm.
The issue with Liam Livingston is if you get the Phoenix Liam, he's the Birmingham Phoenix Liam. He's a 11 crore player. If you get the Rajasthan Royals
See,
one, he's a 3 crore player.
again, what advantage I am seeing here is the top four can be shuffled according to the match situation. If we have a
definitely.
bloody good start, I will send Liam Livingston at number 3, no matter what happens, because he becomes even more dangerous. If Punjab is say 100 for 1 at the end of 11 overs, I'll say to Liam Livingston, just go and play your game. We have Johnny Bairstow, we have Shah Rukh Khan, we don't have any worry. So this lineup can press, but one concern always is there that if we don't get enough runs on the board, our bowling is a big question. We don't
And
have
Fergus
Rabada.
Rabada might also not be there
Yeah,
for
Rabada
the
is
start
not
of.
available. I can't trust Sandeep Sharma at the death. Okay, Arshdeep is there, but Odain Smith is
Arshdeep
also.
Singh is good at the death. Arshdeep
Yeah,
Singh is
I
good
said-
at
Yeah,
I
but
said-
you need two people at the death, right? And also
Yeah.
Harshdeep Singh is
I
pretty young, so
True.
you don't expect him to do well in every game.
Every game,
Yeah,
bowls in the-
and that's my
That's a
concern
concern.
with Odean Smith is that if I want to bowl Odean Smith, I'll bowl him in the middle. I can't risk him at the death unless the other team
Maybe-
needs.
maybe
Yeah,
Minnis
a
could be a
half
bit-
decent opener can take him for 15 runs in the power play pretty easily. I mean, not a difficult task. We saw Rohit Sharma
Yeah.
taking for 22.
So I won't risk him bowling in the power play, na. So
He power play or the death. So the only place where he
he's
can
a-
bowl is
he's
in
a
the middle
death
overs.
bowler
what you
anyways,
have to
bro.
do, what
That's
you
even
have to do
worse.
in this lineup, you have to go with Sandeep, you have to go with Arshdeep, you need to go with Rabada. You need to play these three bowlers to fix your death bowling, because Sandeep Sharma gives you the power play option. Then you have Rahul Chahar, and I am very, very keen to play Harpreet Brar. I don't know why, because this guy ties down one end, and he's a very, very clever thinking bowler. So I won't mind going in with two spinners unless and until they are holding one end for me. So I think they
And
need to
Liam
play.
could bowl the overs as well. Liam could give you 2 overs as well.
Precisely.
Yeah, he's there.
Precisely.
But
Yeah.
Aryan, but if you see, I mean, Harpreet and Rahul Char both plus Liam Livingston, that is 8 overs of spin. Definitely 8 overs of spin. But in somebody like Wankhede, do you really need a lot of overs
Yeah.
from spin?
Yeah,
I mean, you need probably 6 odd overs from spin and the other 14 from,
But again, if the Harpreet Brar, I always obviously back Rishi Dhawan to play. If not, Harpreet is not playing because okay, based on
Krishna
Dhawan.
here says Baristo, Dhawan, Mayank, Bhanuka Rajpaksa at 4, Liam Livingston, Ritik Chatterjee, Hardik Brar, Rahul Chah. What is this?
We don't want to finish.
Bro,
don't wanna finish
Krishna,
10.
what are you on?
What is he on with Punjab?
Do you want some lemons? I have lots of
Playing
lemons in my
that's
fridge. I
wrong.
can send some to your place. I mean, you're playing Ritik Chatterjee. Could you put the lineup once again?
Yeah, sure. And
I mean,
why is
Bhanuka
Bhanuka
Rajapaksa
Rajapaksa is
Raj
playing
Bhavan
11?
at 9. Are you kidding me, man? It's 12 a.m. in the night. Are you kidding me?
Are you high,
Seriously?
man? I mean,
I
I'm
don't
not
know. I
even kidding.
really don't know what is this playing 11. Horrible.
Have a good
Okay.
sleep with Mr. Chatterjee.
Chatterjee, I don't know.
Bhawa at 9, he's a number 5 batsman at best.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think something's up with Krishna.
I
Let's
don't
not
know.
take
I
it.
don't know with
I think
with
he's
Rishi
sleeping.
Dhawan.
Let's just
Rishi
let's
Dhawan in
just
the
wish him
Yeah,
a
11.
yeah.
good
Let's
night's
just
sleep.
continue. I think something's up. Yeah. Let's just
Yeah,
continue with Aryan. Yeah, you were saying a
last
point.
point is that I think Rishi Dhawan will be a foil for you if you want to play him. I think you should play him because he can even bat at 4 or 5. He's not that bad a batsman. We have seen in the recent Vijay Hazare,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can play well.
Yeah.
So I think it's either going to be Harpreet slash Rishi, depending on the pitch we are playing on.
Bro, I think Bawa is also a good option for you guys. I've seen him play closely.
But I don't wanna. I don't wanna
Yeah,
really,
he's not
fast,
consistent. He's not
fast.
that.
No, no, no.
You have to play him in the right
See,
position.
our consistency will come over
See,
time. Consistency
yeah,
will
he's
come
a
over
19-year
game.
old. You don't expect unreal consistency from a
Yeah.
19-year-old, right?
And I won't even give Raj Baba the starting because I want to set the tone for the IPL. I don't want to end up, team loses a few matches, the young lad goes under pressure that, he'll be under pressure.
Yeah,
So I
maybe
don't
you give
want
him a few games once the team is in a good position on the points table. Yeah, I totally agree.
if
Yeah, no, no. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't want him to start the very first game. Of course, you have a lot of better options than him. But I think he's a buy for the future, and he's a steal at 2 crores. He
yeah,
might be the
and
next
he
Hardik
will,
Pandey. You don't know.
and if
Play
we
him
pull,
against RCB and play him against GT. That's what you should do.
yeah,
Yeah, just a
and
small point about Gujarat Titans. I have no idea how their management picked Mr. Nehra as head coach. I really need to talk to them because
Let's not talk
I'm
about
still
Gujarat Titans.
surprised.
I
I
wanted
am
to avoid
still
those two
surprised
only.
with the
okay,
fact that
one
they
final
appointed
word
Nehra
is
as that.
okay. I gotta go. One final word
Okay,
is
no problem, no problem. Yeah,
if
no
we don't
problem. Yeah.
if we don't change our 11 like Mr. Kumble has the habit of doing. See, if I
You
have
mean Mrs.
no
Zinta?
yeah, just forget Zenta. If this game is
Forget Zinta.
if this team plays 14 matches with the almost the same 11 and they lose even like more than I expect,
They're like
I
a
won't
core
be
of 15 players. Core of 15 players, maybe.
yeah, if they play with the core and we don't do well, I won't be disappointed because
Yeah.
at least you gave chances, and if you give chances, each player will win you games, and you'll win at least 8 to 9 games. That is a guarantee because the players get the backing, they get the confidence,
Yeah.
then they deliver for you. That's what we haven't been doing. The only player, if you all guys have watched, the name is Sean Marsh. He has been the legend. He's a Punjab
Yeah.
legend. That's why he's 10 years. He's delivered around what 400 runs each season. That's
Yeah,
what
he
he's
scored
done.
about 2,400 for the team, 2,400 runs for a team, and that's a big number. I mean, considering he played for 6, 7 seasons.
10,
I mean, the
10,
amount
10.
of the amount of games he played were equivalent to 6, 7 seasons.
Yeah.
He was excellent for the team. Yeah, I know he's 37 now and he cannot do the same thing again, but still, yeah, he's a legend for the team, definitely. And also
Yeah,
considering, see, you might remember Yuvraj Singh as a Punjab icon, but he never scored
He
more.
never
He
delivered.
scored he didn't do too well. And you know what?
Yeah.
He has not even scored 1,000 runs for the team. That's a
yeah.
shocker. He scored 950 odd.
True.
Marsh is a legend. Marsh
Yeah,
is definitely
Aryan.
a
Before
legend.
we make you to leave, who's going to be the top four for in your opinion?
I'll tell nothing in order, but
Yeah,
in
sure.
overall the points table, the one that is not group wise, it's gonna be Chennai. I think Punjab has a decent chance if they do well.
You're jinxing it already.
Okay. Even if I jinx it, okay. The hopes
Varun,
are
don't be too surprised if Punjab manages to bottle it somehow. I won't be.
Yeah.
Varun, everyone is not Romit.
yeah. So then if you ask me, I'm liking something about this Lucknow outfit. I don't know the
Yeah.
way I'm liking
They have a
something
really
about
good playing 11. They have a really
yeah
good playing 11.
yeah because they cover all the three bases, and they have a very good 4, 5, 6.
Man, they might have the best opening pair in the league.
Yeah,
With
and
Rahul
I
and
think
Quinton de Kock, it won't get much better.
it's a really crazy toss up for number 4 because I don't know. I don't know. It's KKR.
For Lucknow?
No, number 4 spot.
Oh,
Number 4,
sorry. My bad. Totally my bad.
yeah. It's KKR, which I'm looking right, and if Rajasthan get their bowling right for most part of it, I think Rajasthan can do well because they're a team. I think they can defend, and a very few bowling attacks can defend this IPL. I think they have one bowling attack who can defend well in this IPL in terms of the target. So it's either a KKR or a RR for me in the number 4 spot.
Yeah, I'm satisfied you've not put Mumbai in there. Now that gives me confidence that they just might make it.
No, the Mumbai will only be able to qualify if your batting really fires. That's the
Yeah,
only thing.
Our Indian core needs to see Rohit Sharma, who's generally not a great performer in the IPL. He needs to have a good season, at least 500 runs at the bare
He
minimum.
needs to have 600 run season, 650
Huh?
No,
runs.
see, the thing is, even 500 is fine because you have Surya Kumar and Ishan who also need to have 500 plus. Not 500, if not 500, 400 at the very minimum. Because our lower middle order and middle order is a piece
I'm
of.
not even
I wouldn't call it a
concerned.
piece of garbage, but it's pretty bad.
I'm not
I
even
mean,
concerned about your what we say the batting. I'm concerned about Mumbai's bowling. That's the main issue that I'm seeing. This
see,
IPL.
I think Mumbai has lots of loopholes. If we start talking about it, we might as well talk until morning. So we just might as well
Yeah,
move on to
yeah.
the next
We
one.
already spoke about him,
One
right?
one solution one solution which I have for Mumbai is if you can sacrifice one overseas and then you can get that Pollard, then you can get Tim David, then you can get Fabian Allen. That makes for a very very good lower middle order. I think that is something they can look
Bro, I think
for.
Fabian Allen and Daniel Sams are equivalent in terms of their batting. I've seen
Yeah,
both of
but
them back.
yeah, that's
Okay,
true. That's true.
guys, can we switch to quickly? We'll talk about Sunrisers and CSK very, very quickly because I'm also not having much time.
Pawan,
But
I
coming
think we
to
are
Varun,
missing
yeah.
not Mr. Jadhav or Mr. Fruit assistant for Dhoni in SRH.
Yeah, we'll
Fruit
talk about that. We'll
assistant.
talk about that, and we'll make Varun to talk about this. Yeah, but SRH, I mean the bowling once again is, I mean, decent. I would say. I mean they guys somehow got Natarajan, Bhuvneshwar Kumar back, and seeing movies form also in India now, especially his death bowling in one or two matches, it has been good. Karthik Tyagi, the one who actually defended 4 runs in the last over, is also there in SRH this time. And talk about the
Yeah.
batting, but the only issue with SRH is their opening. Opening. I mean, we had Bonner and Dhawan one season. Then they had, I mean, possibly Kane could bat at number three. But do you think Rahul Tripathi will open perhaps with Abhishek Sharma? Do you think he'll bat in the middle order and maybe Kane Williamson will open with Abhishek Sharma? And then you have Markram also, who is an option also for opening.
I think if you look at Rahul Tripaঠি's and Aiden Markram stats, they're only good in the middle order. Aiden Markram at 3, Rahul Tripathi at 4 is set. Because Rahul
Yeah, I
Tripathi only
agree.
performed for opening at RPS. If you see
Yeah.
KKR, he didn't have much impressive stats, but for RPS, he totally succeeded. I don't really want to bank him for opening. I think we put 6.5 crores on Abhishek Sharma for the opening
Yeah.
slot because he already does that for Punjab.
Yeah.
He has that experience as well. So we're just gonna go with it. And I think our opening has also been, released by Murali Taran, Kane Williamson, and Abhishek Sharma. So that's finalized. At 3 comes Aiden
Yeah.
Markram. At 4 is Rahul Tripathi.
Yeah.
Number 5, we put 10 points and 5 crores on Nicholas Puran, so he has to be in the team. He's
He
good.
might have been at KKR and KKR would have been screwed up.
They only had 20 crores left at that time, but they still went for him.
No, they had about 13, 14 crores only, even less.
I just had a question for you, Varun. Like, Kane Williamson will be the captain, so he's already confirmed as one of the overseas player. Aiden Markram will be the second. So who are the remaining two?
Puran and Shepard will make it into the lineup for the first few
No
games.
Jansen for you.
I think Jansen
Well,
is
then
just like
see-
I think Jansen is like a future investment.
No, Varun, I think what I'm still concerned about your bowling because see, even though we have lots of good names in terms of Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Natarajan, and Tyagi, Bhuvneshwar is really good in the power play still, but death I'm not too sure about. Natarajan is just coming back from a long layoff of injury, so you don't know how he's going to be.
And just
Karthik
forgetting about
Tyagi,
the spinners. They are
see
forgetting about
Karthik.
the spinners also.
Yeah,
I
Pawan,
mean,
hold on. Yeah, we'll come to that.
yeah.
Varun will speak about that definitely. Right, he's the SRH guy there. But yeah, so and Tyagi, we all know he defended 4 runs, but even Sachin defended 6 runs twice of the last over. That doesn't make him a
Yeah.
world class bowler. So I'm still concerned about the bowling. And Romario Shepherd, I mean, he's okay. He's not your gun bowler, and that is why
Yeah.
that would tempt me to play Jansen. Also, another question to you would be, I mean, it's a totally out of the box thing. I know that their management has announced that their openers are set for this season, but what about slotting maybe somebody like a Sundar into the opening slot, putting Kane Williamson at 3 and shifting the batting order by 1. So at 4 you have Markram and at 5 you have Tripathi because Tripathi has finished well for KKR. Markram has done his best for South Africa at 4, best or second best after the opening slot, and Williamson won the orange cap at 3. And in that way you can utilize Sundar to his best. because he opens for a state also. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, but see, I think if we win the toss and we bat first, we can go with any order we want. You know, just how we set up our, you know, on the TV our lineup comes up. You know, you don't need to play with that exact lineup. You can switch any way you want from 1 to 7. You can switch any way you want. Even as you said, Washington Sundar can open if we bat first innings. But during second innings, I think, you know, we should just go by how the lineup is on the TV. I think that's only the good option. I think that's where you get the most consistency from.
Yep.
Krishna here has a good point. Fazal Haq Faruqi recent performance sound.
Yeah, he picked up 4 wickets against Bangladesh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still lost though. Hard luck.
Will he make it
But
into?
you have a
He
Gopal.
might
I will
see.
talk. Yeah.
He might make it into the maybe last 1 or 2 games. Marco Jansen will
SRH
definitely play
Yeah,
some
when
games.
SRH might be eventually out or qualified, one of those situations.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's
When
the
they're
thing.
looking to give game time. See, the
Huh.
thing is, one, it is too early to call it. 2, it is against Bangladesh. 3, it is, see, Bangladeshi pitches, you know. You saw when Australia went there, it was like they were playing in a mud field. It was not a pitch; they were playing on mud. So Bangladesh prepares a spinner's paradise. You know, even if I put somebody like a Dominic Bess over there, he'll pick up 6 wickets with utmost ease. Even though he's one bowler who picks up wickets off full tosses and that's it. So I think it's, and he's a future investment. It's like a Rashid Khan replacement. They're looking to groom him as the next Rashid. Maybe he might or he might not be. But yeah.
Krishna
Our
is
power
back with
play
his playing
middle order
11, by
bowling
the
is
way.
also. Huh.
Yeah.
By the way, we
TSFC
didn't
Williams
discuss
and
Umran
Abhishek
Malik, by the
Sharma.
way. He's going to
Redam
retired by the
Makram
way.
at 3, Rahul Tripathi at 4, Nicholas Puran at 5, Abdul Samad, Romario Shepherd, Washington Sundar, Bhuvi Natu, and either Karthik or Umran Malik.
No, I would say it's either Karthik or Nattu because you need a death bowling option.
Yeah. I think Umran should play. Umran they're looking to groom because, you know, he's one of those rare Indian bowlers who bowls at 145 plus. I mean, even Bumrah doesn't bowl at 145. We all know that. He bowls at, he might bowl in the 140s, but not at 145. That's for sure.
Yes.
So he's the rare breed of Indian pacers. They'll have to manage him really well because injury, you know, we all know what that does to a fast bowler.
Yeah.
2, if they have to groom him, they have to give him game time, right? Because nobody grooms without playing games. So I agree with what Varun said. They might go with either a Natarajan or a Tyagi.
Varun, do you think SRH will qualify somehow this time? Seeing.
Just say no. Don't jinx it.
We are in Group B, right? So we have a chance. There you go. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna say yes or no. We have a chance.
Yeah, and we have to come to the defending champions. Let's quickly wrap things up before we have, more news to tell. Also, we have to go to the other topics, but we'll quickly go through CSK. Obviously, and Prasanna getting involved with this, and obviously, Devon Conway, a good steal. I think the best steal I think so far. In the auctions, I would say Devon Conway for 1 crore. You couldn't get Faf to Plessis back, so Conway to open with Gaikwad. Will this be interesting? Will they do that somehow, or make Conway bat in the middle order?
I think Conway opens. I think I've kind of set my 11, assuming all are injury free. So my 11 will be Conway, Gaikwad open, obviously.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Moin Ali. Number 4 is Bahubali Raidugaru. And then you have Dubey, Jadeja, and then
Deepak Chahar.
Dhoni.
No, Dhoni bats at 11.
I'm just putting it for namesake now.
Yeah.
And
Dhoni
Chahar
at 7,
might not be
Chahar at
available,
8.
man.
Yeah, Chahar is there. And then
Really?
Bravo, obviously Bravo is there. Milna starts. And I'll probably put Hangrekar in there.
He's a good pitch.
Interesting. That's a
Yeah,
good-
and in case if Bravo's injured is not and is unable to do the workload, you can always slot in Pretorius.
Or Chris Jordan also, maybe one of those.
No, I think.
I think it would be
to
Milna or
start with
Jordan. But I
bowling,
think,
Win Pretorius.
Victorious will be a
it's
better.
more
one
like
of
a
those,
backup
one
for
of
Bravo.
But
And,
Prasanna, one thing.
Krishna
yeah,
here says, sorry to
you know what,
interrupt.
Krishna? I was about to say the exact thing what Krishna has just put in. I think if you put Conway and Gaikwad as openers, you might not be able to make full use of the power play. So why not put somebody like an Uttappa as an opener? Because, you know, he'll play 15 balls, score a blazing 30, get out. And then you could, send in your stable batsman like Conway. That is exactly what I was about to say. So I don't think you need Shivam Dubey, right? You have so many bowlers. Shivam Dubey is anyways...
The management has already confirmed Moin Ali will play at 3, at 3, I guess.
Yeah.
He was always at number 3. That was never
that's
a doubt.
fine. That's fine. So maybe Conway at 4 is still a good choice because see, Conway can't tonk the ball, but he can still time it really well. So he
Yeah.
can play in the middle overs. He can score, 45 runs off 30, 35 balls, which is still
Yeah, I
decent.
thought we would probably get a Munro or someone because he's the guy who can tonk it at the start. So, but I think this might be the 11 which I'm thinking. I mean, we never know. We will think something. Dhoni will think the exact opposite. But I think
Yeah,
this
you
might
never
be
know.
the
Dhoni,
11.
Dhoni feels like coming in at number 4 this time around. You never know what's going on in his head.
Yeah, exactly. And um, yeah, so this is what I've thought of. Now this might change, and we all know CSK do have preference of kind of playing all of the all rounders in a thing. If given a chance, they'll probably play 11 all rounders. You never know. So
Yeah.
And Dhoni could perhaps bet at number 7 or number 8 if required.
yeah, but the
No,
one
no,
thing which
Pawan. Dhoni is not coming before. Dhoni will not come at any time before number 9. See, at number 8 you have Chahar. Sorry, at number 7 you have Chahar. At number 8 you have Bravo. So
yeah,
Dhoni will be like, मैं तो आऊँगा बाद में भाई तुम जाओ बैठो.
yeah, I'll just sit back and watch the action. Although there are
True.
talks that Chahar might be out given his injury. We have to see the extent
Mhm.
of because we did hear that, right? Chahar is out for about 6 weeks, so we have to see how the extent of
Yeah,
that
but
injury
that's
is.
fine, mate. See, 4 weeks until the 26th, and 2 weeks. So he might miss 4 5 games maybe, and he might be back.
Yeah,
Good
so
question over here from Krishna. He is saying you guys may go with Jagadish as a opener also because in domestic he opens for Tamil Nadu
maybe
and
not
has a good
now.
performance
Maybe
in
not
Ranji
now. I
also.
think he's also like an
Too
investment.
early, too
Jagadish
early. Yeah.
Hari Nishant, and Simarjit Singh, like they're all future investment buys because yeah, they are
See,
future
also
investment buys. Right?
Jagdishan is, Jagdishan and Gaikwad will be very similar players. They'll
Yeah,
score 40 of 6 overs in the power play, which doesn't make sense.
yeah, and
I mean,
Jagadish
I
is
think
more
Jagdishan has
like
a strike rate of 120 in T20s, which is, I mean, Gaikwad
yeah,
is
and he
playing the
was an
role of,
opener for Tamil Nadu as well. He did fairly
yeah,
decently, but not great to speak of. And I think Jagadish is more like a backup for Dhoni, to be honest.
Very
Dhoni,
true.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
he's also
Barun,
cheaper.
coming to your
So
point, yeah, Barun, coming to you, do you think CSK have a very, very good chance easily to go to the finals this time, seeing the teams that they have to face?
120%. They'll make
See,
it.
even if you get school kids to Dhoni, he will do something or the other. I don't know what, and I don't want to discuss what. He'll just get them to the playoffs somehow. Somehow,
I
I don't
mean,
know, but
apart from Kedar Jadhav, I mean, you can rarely kind of point. You can
see, Prasanna,
definitely
I
you can
think they
definitely
paid
name
seven and a
players.
half crores to Jadhav just to feed Dhoni fruit so that Dhoni could sharpen his head and get his team on the field. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, see, apart from Jadhav, you can really name players who have been in CSK and have really turned a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
true.
Ambati Raidu, I mean, he was decent at MI. He
Yeah.
came to the India team also, but once he came to CSK, he won the no. Did he win the orange cap? No, but he was pretty good. He
No,
scored
no, no.
600
He
odd
he
runs.
he, he had 600 plus runs, but he didn't
Yeah.
win the orange cap. That
Yeah,
orange
yeah,
cap
yeah,
was
yeah.
won by Williamson, I think, 2018.
Yeah. I corrected myself.
Yeah.
He scored 600 odd runs as an opener. He tried to
Yeah.
cement his spot in the Indian team, but Vijay Shankar sort of ruined it for him.
I mean, but the
So
best one for me is
Raidu's
Ashish Nehra, man. The way Dhoni made him play and he brought him back to the Indian team, and he didn't even. The thing is, not only he played decently. He wasn't he.
yeah.
He did half decent in Australia
Yeah, I
and in the
mean,
World
Dwayne
T20s.
Bravo became a legend once he joined CSK, won the orange cap. Even half decent bowlers like Mohit Sharma came and won the purple cap. So yeah, credit to MS Dhoni.
Bro,
He's done something or
bro,
the
no
other.
comparisons. But we made Mohit Sharma and Ishwar Pandey look like Jason Gillespie and Brett Lee for that one season.
Yeah, no, I mean Ishwar Pandey and no,
I mean, he was
but yeah,
I mean,
Mohit
he
Sharma
wasn't
definitely.
great, but he was okay. I mean, he would do a
Yeah,
job.
Mohit, yeah.
Very
Yeah,
true. Very
exactly.
true.
So yeah, credit, kudos to Dhoni. I mean, see, I don't want to spread hate or I don't want to raise controversies here. But when Sanjay Manjrekar says that Jadeja is a bits and pieces cricketers in T20s, I agree with him. Because if you see, as a batsman, he's still fine. As a fielder, he's a gun fielder. But as a bowler, there are questions. But somehow Dhoni has got the best out of Jadeja also.
True.
So
True.
that's the
Dhoni-
And
thing.
I
How
think
we
he'll get
use
the best out of
the thing
Shivam
is how
Dube
we
also.
even use them. See, because Dhoni will always have 6-7 options to bowl, so you won't have just 5 bowlers and just
Yeah.
bank on them to bowl all the 4 overs.
Yeah.
Also, this consistency, man. I mean, if Dhoni plays a player, he plays at least 6-7 games. It's not like RCB.
Minimum.
Bhai, तूने आज perform नहीं करा, get out.
Yeah.
It's not like that here. You
And
give
the thing
you give a
was,
longer
even in
run to players.
2020, even in 2020, he dropped Watson because he knew CSK were not going to qualify anyway.
Yeah, see,
Because
exactly.
unless
See, and
there is
that
a
is how they
certain-
found that is how they found a gem like Gaikwad, right?
Yeah, exactly. I
Very
mean,
true.
see, unless there is a 100% chance that CSK not going to qualify, he's not dropping you. If he sees, if he will at least. I mean, if you see us, I mean, we rarely make changes. We even in Indian team, Dhoni doesn't like to change unless there is like an injury concern or something.
Yeah, true.
Even
So coming
Even if
to
you remember,
even 2020, I mean, Raidu got injured
even if I
unfortunately after the first game, so that was one reason why we didn't have the stable middle order, because we didn't even have a stable opening thing, because we would lose 2 or 3 wickets and there was no one in middle order to catch up. So
no, but even if you talk about 2021, he played Suresh Raina in most of the games, even though in the past 10 innings he didn't have a single score of over 25, which is
yeah,
awful for a number three. See, I think Suresh Raina has been done and dusted for 2 seasons now.
yeah,
It
see,
was
yeah,
And also I wasn't too surprised that he wasn't sold this season. I think he lost Dhoni when he fought over that balcony wala thing. So that is
I
where the
don't know if
franchise
that's
lost.
true though, but that was too good.
I mean, come on, man. See, Suresh Raina be like, यार मेरे को balcony चाहिए, मैं धोनी भाई को दिया भाई. Can you see the comparison? One is like cake and you're like turd. I mean, there's a massive difference between the two of you. Come on, man. I mean, see, the fact that CSK were paying him 12 crores to, I mean, for a couple of shit seasons was a bit too much for me. And I think it was good that I got rid of him. Even for 2 crores, he was pretty expensive for any team, not just CSK, any team.
Yeah, I
true.
mean,
But
you do have this sentiment thing, but I don't think it will work here. I mean,
See, Prasanna, the thing is, they had a sentiment from Bravo. They overspent
yeah.
on him, but they knew that Bravo would bring something on the table.
I didn't want Raina for last 2 seasons. I didn't want Raina in 2021 as well, but it's just
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. See, exactly. See, Bravo, if not performance, he'll give you his 100%
Yeah.
on the pitch. But if you looked at Raina, he'd become a vada pav himself. He's more unfit than Rohit Sharma, and still 2 crores for him would have been a bit too much.
Yeah, at least when you say, at least if not his batting, at least his keeping and his captaincy at least covers up for some of things. But when talking about Raina, his fitness is gone, his batting is gone, and not just he always had a problem with the short ball. Now he had problem in his pace as well. I remember the return game against Mumbai. Man was dancing. I mean, he was literally standing like this. Do I want to?
Arey, Prasanna, I am telling you, if Pawan goes and bowls a short ball to him, he'll still struggle with that. So don't talk.
Exactly, simple.
yeah.
Pawan,
Okay, so-
nobody
yeah,
else,
yeah.
even if Pawan does it, he'll struggle. He'll be like,
Okay. Yeah, so let's go to the final predictions of the top four of the points table before going to the latest news of the IPL and then wrap things up. We'll come to Varun first of all. Your choice of the top four first of all.
I think two teams from Group A and Group B will make it. First of all, talking about Group A, I think Chennai Super Kings, this is an easy sweep.
I think Chennai is in Group B. So Group
Yeah,
A
that's what from Group B, Chennai has a clean sweep there. I think SRH will make it. Okay, let's hope
Group
they
A, Group A
let's
who's
hope
going
they
to come
do
in?
now. Okay, so from Group A, if DC can really figure out how to fix their middle order and death bowling, maybe DC and then KKR.
Prasanna, your top four.
Can you show Group A
I
and
think
Group B
CSK
once?
is obvious.
Can you
I
guys
don't know.
just-
Show them the
Up to
groups.
you.
Show them the
No,
groups.
just show the two groups. I just
Oh,
want to
sorry.
see them once.
Sorry.
Yeah. I just want to see them once.
Yeah, give me a sec. Yes. Yeah, I think I have it. Yeah, so Group A, MI, KKR, Rajasthan Royals,
Yeah,
DC, and
there it
Lucknow
is.
Super Giants. And
So
Group B.
I think CSK and SRH maybe from Group B. And I think in Group A, Mumbai depends on really how they start, because if they go back really 4 or 5 losses already, then it's hard to catch up. They did it before, but it's tough to replicate it every single time.
Yes.
And I think Lucknow can make it. They have a pretty good squad. KKR, they're always the dark horses. You don't expect them to do things, but they somehow kind of prove you wrong. So my 4 teams will be CSK, SRH, Lucknow, and Delhi. Mumbai might be I think 4th spot might be Mumbai. Not
DC.
depend, man. It's
All
just
depends on how the
things will
Indian
obviously
middle
differ.
order does.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Tanish, your
and I
top
think
four.
probably after the first 4 or 5 games of every single team, we'll have a clear idea of where everyone stands.
Yeah.
See,
Tanish, your top
basically,
four.
if we talk about from Group B, For me, firstly, it would be CSK, and secondly, there would be a tough competition between PBKS and SRH because PBKS has to take some boxes. Like they are a bit rough in the death overs, like they leak some runs and something like that. Their middle order is a bit of concern, but if they heal this year, then it will be beneficial. So it would be firstly CSK, then SRH, or maybe slash PBKS, but I would go with SRH, and from Group A, I would go with
DC, obviously.
firstly I would go with KKR, and at last DC. But these are not on the basis
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
rankings.
I think I also agree with Tanish. I think for me also, I feel like CSK and SRH also from Group A because RCB have a really bad squad this time, and I don't feel
You mean
RCB.
trash?
Uh,
It's called
RCB,
yeah,
They're
they,
top
trash.
see,
heavy. I mean, that's one thing. I mean,
Mm.
top
see,
heavy.
the
yeah,
only
but they are very underrated though. You cannot
the
predict though about RCB
RCB is
anytime though.
underrated.
the
Yeah,
only
underrated. Yeah,
the only table which RCB tops is at the worst team.
true,
I
true.
mean, the thing is, I mean, who's captain them? Is Faf captaining them, or is
Puff,
it been?
puff,
I
puff.
think
Not
Puff.
no
Yeah,
official announcement as
It's
of
there's
now,
puff.
but
no
Puff.
official confirm. Yeah, but I think it's Puff because Maxwell is going to miss the first few matches due to
Yeah.
his
first
wedding
few
and
matches.
stuff.
Good that
Yeah,
CSK and SRH picked no Aussie players, so we are kind of safe there. But you
yeah.
never know; anyone can
SRH
pick an
has a
injury in
He's
SRH
training.
on
has
a bit,
a
but we won't use him.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean,
SRH
you
has a
never know anyone.
Australian bowler.
We have to see the extent of Deepak Chahar injury, and hopefully everything stays same. Like there are talks that CSK is gonna start the practice in Surat, and they
Yeah.
will.
Gujarat have
Yeah,
already started their practice.
Yeah,
true.
we all know
Group
CSK
A
kind of
from
does
yeah.
things. They plan
Ashish
things
Nehra is really
beforehand, and they
excited to
start.
get the season going to be in 10th place, looks like.
He is doing
Yeah,
ball
man.
tampering, bro.
I really just want this
Very true.
Paytm series to be done with. I mean, no disrespect, Pavan, but
Yeah,
um,
true, true, true. I agree, I agree.
Come
I
on, he should
agree with
also
that, Sri
agree.
Lanka.
He already knows that Sri Lanka will die in this series.
Yeah. Group A for me will be DC and the second spot. I think DC will top. I think for sure. I think they can, but the
I mean,
second
they're
I
not
think
too
between
integral group, by the way. Just for everyone to
KKR
know.
or Lucknow. I don't think Mumbai have a chance this season. I think
Lucknow
fully
have
DC.
Lucknow have bowlers who always go for 8+ economy, and they only have half batsmen in the middle order, not even full half batsmen.
The
They're like
only
pinch
three
hitters like
bowlers,
Krunal
the
Pandya with who else?
only
Marcus
bowlers
Rice.
which
These
I
guys
like
give
the
me 5
more.
to 10 balls, hit 15, 20 runs, and then go away. That's it.
I'm
Yeah,
saying the
very true.
only bowlers which I like in the Lucknow team is firstly it is Ravi Bishnoi, then
Yeah.
Dushmanta Chamira, and Mark Wood.
Hmm.
Marco is injury prone. I only see Ravi Bishnoi as a good bowler.
Yeah.
Avesh Khan.
And I
No,
don't
Ravi
man,
see
Shankar.
them
that
depending
guy
on
will
Hardik
definitely
Pandya.
fail because DC had Kagiso Rabada and Henrik Norke. He had support there, right? Even if you see he played one game for India, he went for more than 40 runs. Why? Because he did not have good support with Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Harshal Patel there. If he,
Who?
now Kagiso Rabada and Henrik Norke, they're being foreigners. They have much more experience in the DC squad. So he had that support. But this time in Lucknow, all it's not good, man. The
Who again?
environment, like the team
I missed
squad
out.
is
I
not
missed out.
good.
Who was the player you're talking about?
Avesh Khan.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah, always gone. Yeah.
True, true. So we'll talk about now the updates coming up. So obviously, I think the IPL 2022 is going to start at on the March 26th instead of 27. I think it's because of the Star Sports rights or something. I think because
Yeah.
of that clash.
And
Yeah,
for the
that's what.
double header on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what. And BCCI is going to allow a 40% capacity for both Mumbai and Pune. So Varun, fans back. Will you be back in India as well to watch? And Prasanna also.
Varun,
These are the
Podamma,
pictures.
India ki.
I
Cricket
wish,
Pradhan.
man. I really want to go, but
Yeah,
that
obviously,
won't
but
happen.
yeah.
That won't happen.
I mean,
Sadly.
but
But
see, the
fans
thing
back.
is, we say, oh, it's be, yeah, I get the be safe part, being safe, and that's the uttermost priority. But given a chance to watch a game in the stadium, I'm taking that hunt any
Yeah,
day.
no one's gonna miss out on that chance.
Exactly.
See, first of all, the main reason people watch IPL is because of the noises in the stadium. Forget about the players' performance. It's not the players, the fans' noises that they make. The cheering, the excitement. That gets you hyped up when you're watching the game. Right? Without them, the game is nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And the
Especially when
fake
it's a
noises were
super
so
over.
irritating. Oh my
Ah.
god.
Freaking
Bloody
speakers.
nonsense.
Very true. Yeah, Tanish, you had a point. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say like the bowling of Lucknow Super Giants is a bit 50-50, but the all-rounder section is really very very great. Like
Yeah, with
Marcus
Jason
Stoinis,
Holder.
then Jason Holder, then Krunal Pandya and Deepak Huda best friends. Then then Kyle Mayers, then some Ayush Badoni, and then Karan Sharma.
Why is
Karan
this
Sharma,
player very underrated? I
Karun.
mean, very
Karan
overrated
K.
some player
He's
for Gujarat
someone other,
Titans,
not
right?
the RCB one. Sorry.
I think it's Manohar or someone, Abhinav
Abhinav
Manohar for
Manohar.
Gujarat Titans. Yeah,
He's
very
also
yeah.
good. He's the only good Indian batsman I see in that whole squad.
Who?
Abhinav Manohar,
Which team is he in?
Gujarat.
Gujarat Titans. Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, we'll talk about the news also. So Mumbai Pune obviously will be hosting the IPL 2022. Wankhede will be hosting 20 matches. DY Patel's stadium will host 20. Bednor Stadium will host 15, and the MCA International Stadium in Pune will host 15. And all teams will play 4 matches each at Wankhede and DY Patel Stadium. Three
Uh-huh.
matches to be played at Badborn International Stadium and MCA International Stadium. So thoughts, I mean, Mumbai and Pune. I mean, I think Pune, I don't know. I mean, after Rising Pune Super Giants, I can't remember the stadium they played
Pune
at,
is a
but
good batting pitch.
Yeah, it's a pretty
It
small.
helps
Boundaries
spinners
are
as
pretty
well.
small.
It helps spinners. Good batting pitch.
Yeah, boundaries are pretty small.
Mumbai
If you
three
look at
pitchers.
Bradburn Stadium, it is the exact replica of Sharjah Stadium.
I
Bradburn.
won't say so small, but I remember playing CSK or Mumbai. That was an eliminator, and boundaries were kind of bigger. I mean, I won't say
Might
too
not
big,
be
but
might not be as small as Sharjah, but similar looks. If you take a look at Sharjah and Bradburn Stadium, they look the same.
yeah. So
Mm.
given all teams will play at 4 matches here, they're equally spaced matches, so you don't have an home advantage excuse and all.
Hmm.
So
Mm.
that's one thing.
Very true, very true. Tanish, any points to add up? Yeah. For
No,
the
no.
Tom here says
Yeah.
Pune has a flat pitch, and
Yeah.
Mumbai. Let's see how it goes with the three. But talk about the weather. Do you think that rain interruptions will be there during April or May, or do you feel like
I don't
there
think
won't be
so,
much?
bro. Rain
Even if
interruptions.
rain falls, it doesn't matter. Each team will get one point. They'll be happy.
True, true. I agree on that. And I think the Rajasthan Royals jersey was released. I didn't see it much, but there is
Really?
news on the
Actually,
Rajasthan Royals.
actually,
I
it
don't
is
know.
it is released according to reports. It is someone by a fan, but the official announcement is yet to be done.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think that's to become.
Yes.
And
So
yeah,
from this season onwards, I have to change the jersey now. New jersey, right?
and DC also got a new assistant coach, Ajit
Yeah.
Ajit
Agarkar. Yeah,
Agarkar.
And
and
What
Tanish,
is
your
Shinwar,
his
thoughts on that?
addiction, man? All commentators are going to teams as coaches and all. What
Ravi
is
What
Shastri
is this
forward.
with the
Ravi
select
Shastri.
dugout? Yeah, I mean Brian
Huh.
Lara and
Brian
Dale
Lara, Dale
Steyn.
Stein, Agarkar. Next is
Ashish
Gavaskar,
Nehra.
Harsha Bogle.
Ashish Nehra.
Ashish Nehra is taken, huh?
Ashish Nehra is useless anyway. No point talking about him, anyways. Yeah,
He was
but Tanish,
involved in
your
a
thoughts,
board.
anyways. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tanish, anyways.
absolutely.
Mohammad
Like
Taib.
Ajit.
Yeah,
Ajit Agarkar has already once played for Delhi Capitals, I guess, if I'm not wrong,
yeah,
and he will
yes.
surely be beneficial for Delhi Capitals as an assistant coach.
Shane
Like
Watson is also there.
Yeah.
Shane
Shane
But they haven't
Watson.
Watson is
confirmed
also
that
there.
yet. They haven't
But the
confirmed
official
that yet.
announcement is not announced yet. And
No.
before Ajit Agarkar, Mohammad Kaif was also there as
Yeah.
the assistant coach. So it will be beneficial for new players like
All
as of
these
now.
commentators are going away. I'm expecting Ravi Shastri to come back soon.
Great Ring King Gautam Gambhir in Lucknow. I can imagine the look he gives certain players when they drop stinkers in matches.
if
Hmm.
I
Ravi
want to
Shastri
see what he
joins a
does to
particular
Manish
team,
Pandey. Both have a good relationship, right? We should see what
Very
happens
true.
with him.
if Ravi
And Sunil
Shastri joins
Gavaskar,
a
meanwhile, yeah, Sunil Gavaskar, meanwhile, for RCB has opted either for Faf du Plessis or Dinesh Karthik to be captain of Royal
Dinesh
Challengers
Karthik is
Bangalore.
actually a good option. He's a good
Yeah.
captain.
For
But
KKR,
Dinesh
Faf
yeah,
will
Karthik
yeah.
is
anyway
the captain
start,
of
so even if he's captain, it doesn't make a big difference. It's not going to affect it too much because
Is it announced?
no,
No,
not
no, it's
yet,
not
but I
announced, but
think it might be.
he has just suggested.
Ah,
Yeah, it could be either Faf du Plessis or Yeah, Faf du Plessis or Dinesh Karthik. Yeah,
Man, what are these ads?
I
They're on a
really
cricket
don't know.
page.
This is,
I
this is
mean,
the thing
just
with
to generate some random.
true, true. Yeah, but anyways, I think we had a long conversation, guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man.
thank you so much, Tanish, Varun, and Prasanna for coming. And yeah, we've gone over 1 hour 30 minutes, but you guys somehow stayed until the end, and the others left beforehand, wanting to have early sleep before Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, anyways, tomorrow the India versus Sri Lanka second 2020. But I don't expect anything as a Sri Lankan fan,
It's
anyways.
a clean whitewash. You don't even need to watch it.
We don't even
We
need to watch it.
we
Let's
see
rather watch the test match. I mean, the
see
test
the
series coming
I
forward.
will explain you the ideology of Indian cricket. Like we love Paytm trophies more than ICC trophies.
Because money matters. Paytm is money now.
True, true. Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much, guys, and please do subscribe to Sports Breakdown. Please click the notification bell on. Please like, comment, and share this video. Please do follow Cricket Understamps on Instagram. Please follow Varun on Instagram and his page, Chat Scores, which he posts a lot on SRH also. So hope SRH qualifies in the top four. I don't want to jinx, but I hope SRH have a better season than last season. I hope Bonner and Williamson can come back. I mean, in the playoffs, it would be great to see. Yeah, and Prasanth obviously CSK fan, and we know CSK is an easy group. Fear for MI, but CSK obviously it's too easy for them. They'll definitely. I don't know whether even in Group B CSK will be the only team qualified. Who knows? I mean, they might dominate the other teams perhaps.
Three teams out of the five, five teams in a group is kind of hard. It's possible, but also hard at the same time. It's
Hmm,
you can only
very true.
expect two teams from each group.
Yeah, very true. Anyways, and yeah, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, see you in the next video, guys. And yeah, we'll be doing a review tomorrow, with Edges and Sledges podcast. So we'll be bringing them along tomorrow. So stay tuned for that tomorrow for the review. Till then, see you guys.
Thank you.